Happy Saturday! How's it going, Poncho Smith? Out there in the chat. And I'm joined for today's very special event by my good pal, Beepner!
It is Poo Metal Night.
It's Poo Metal Night, baby! We're going to talk about all the Poo Metal from the late 90s to early 2000s. You won't be able to rein it in. Evanescence #1. List finished. Let's go!
My favorite Poo Metal band is Bile.
That's pretty good. Good stuff. Good stuff. But yes, tonight we're here to do. This was a stream idea that I had when I first started VTubing. It was just like, oh, this list exists, and like I come from an era where that was generally referred to as new metal. So. Like I was going to go over this list like almost 2 years ago, but I never got around to it because I felt like it's just like, you know what, this isn't something I can do justice to by myself. So it just kind of like faded to the background. And then I think it was during a stream, I swear to God, it had to have been, where me and Beepner just kind of started talking, and like we said, somebody referenced something Limp Bizkit. And then we ended up just kind of we're going to do this stream now. I roped your ass into it.
Yep, I'm the unwitting sucker.
You are the unwitting sucker. So yeah, tonight we're going to go over Loudwire's top 50 new metal albums of all time. And we're going to be putting them in a listenability list. For the year of our Lord 2023, and that means that anything that ends up in the top slot you actually have to listen to. It's homework. You're here.
It's the law.
It's the law. You are here. You have to do it. There's no going back. So the degrees of listenability we have are: give it a listen in 2023, which, hey, that speaks for itself. This got some jams. It's like, this is that album that's maybe not 100% there, but there's still some gems in there worth checking out. And then we got kind of where that's that album that's just, I feel neither positively nor negatively about this. And then we've got, it's not very PogChamp, to be honest, which that's a bad one. That's it. You know what? Avoid at all costs. And then there's the special, really, really bad row. It is a special kind of suck reserved for the most dreadful garbage imaginable. And yeah, there's going to be stuff that lands in that slot. Oh boy, that's the stinky, poopy, farty, smelly part of the list.
I mean, this is the new metal era we're talking about here.
You mark. Yeah! So there's definitely going to be some not winners. So while we're putting these into degrees of listenability, we kind of ran into the idea, like, well, since it's there's going to be a group effort, and may end up at odds with one another. I'm just like, well, what if I like an album, but Beepner's just like, no, like that album is just a pile of poop. Well, you notice these little icons down here by our models. These little models here are our S breaks. We have an S break, and if we choose to use that S break, we get to do it for one album at any time. If there is an album that we have gone over that you like and that you want to push it up to the Give It a Listen in 2023 list, you get to do it once. So that's kind of just the basic rules or anything for how we're putting the list together. But people are like, what is new metal? Like, what is it, really? Like, because I think genres are stupid, and I've never really, like, subscribed much to them. I'm just obviously using that terminology, obviously, because, it's the way you talk about things and the way you engage with people, because they're going to be stupid and talk genre, so I've got to use it too. But what to you is new metal?
Well, as a wee lad new metal fan, this was a genre that I struggled to define myself. I think the mainstream press struggled to define it. I mean, I remember MTV running an MTV news segment where it's like, they're new, they're loud, and they hate being labeled. And it's like, this was when Limp Bizkit was, I had heard of Korn, like, in passing. Limp Bizkit was just taking off. This was pre like Follow the Leader or Significant Other or anything like that. This was pre like new metal being all over Total Request Live.
Yeah, like this is like like if we're gonna like judge this on the Korn scale, it's like self-titled Life is Peachy era.
It's so I tend to think of it as metal that was, again, you know, if this shit didn't get a lot of radio play, nobody would have given a shit, because who was talking about Biohazard on MTV?
Exactly.
Or I mean, yeah, maybe Pantera was on Headbangers Ball, but like stuff like Machine Head, or even the more like industrial side, like KMFDM.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't exactly household names. And then new metal comes out. And it's like, well, yeah, how do you define this? Because you've got bands that use turntables and rap a lot, and you've got bands that don't really rap so much,
right.
but like they still have like really, you know, heavy drop D tuning. Slap bass was, you know, another staple, as we'll undoubtedly talk about. But also it kind of became paired with fashion, like, you know, hip hop clothes, baggy tracksuits, Jinkos, Kangol hats, that sort of shit. I mean, you had like guys who were taking the new wave, like late 80s look and like going, you know, just like completely off the rails with it. Mall metal was a pejorative term for this genre that, you know, was like associated with fashion and Hot Topic. And I mean, you know, to an extent, mall goth, but I think new metal on the whole, like, while there is the element of goth in there, it's the hip hop element tends to crowd it out, or at least in the minds of people who maybe aren't fans of the genre.
Yeah, like hip hop is like I think that everybody thinks that like the definition that I come across most of the time is like, oh, new metal is just all like rap rock guys being misogynistic, and while there is an element of that in a lot of the music I think that we're going to see here tonight, I think that like there's also an undercurrent of angst and depression that weaves through a lot of this music through actual lived experience, and a lot more of just like less prettying that angst and depression up and more just speaking it to truth, which I think that maybe like people think that that's a dip in lyricism, but I think that it's just more like maybe sort of a bit of a punk ethos coming through and just like saying what you feel. And I think
saying what you feel and doing things sonically that like we're maybe breaking out of the norms. Yeah.
We'll see a lot of that. So it's just like, it's such a wide net that gets cast over this genre. So, and it's an era of music that I still have a lot of fondness for, or else I wouldn't be doing this. And a lot of, and you probably won't be surprised to learn that a lot of these albums I probably still listen to, because I think that they still hold up, despite the fact that they may have been a part of a fad at a time, you know, like when you were growing up, or, you know, but like I think that like that stuff is stuck with me because I think that music is still legitimately good, despite like maybe it is a little more boneheaded. Maybe it is a little more straightforward, but I don't think that we malign punk music and that wave of punk music in the 60s and 70s, or when that started making a big thing. You know, we don't malign that the same way that I think that we do a lot of new metal, and I think that some of that does come from the whole like, well, it's got that rap man stuff in it.
I like everything but country and rap.
Oh God, yeah, the most boring musical taste you'll ever hear.
We'll hear about somebody who did both.
Oh, God, I want to fucking die. All right, well, should we go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off and start cruising down this list?
Let's get this shit on the road.
All right.
Let's get this people equals shit show on the road.
Well, what would you say if I were to take you for our first, for number 50 on this list, if I were to take you right in to Crazy Town?
Okay, God, so I'm gonna start off.
God, why did?
Yeah, this album cover. This looks like something you'd buy on a skateboard that you ordered out of the California Cheapskates catalog.
God,
next to like the fake anime characters one.
I can't believe like we're starting at like we're literally sitting here talking about, oh no, this genre is not what people say it is. It's not boiled down to its absolute worst. And then the first album I have to talk about is fucking The Gift of Game by Crazy Town. This, oh god.
By the way, the parental advisory sticker was like kind of a badge of honor.
Oh,
at least amongst the people buying the records.
For
Because
sure.
if you got the Walmart version, it had censorship.
Yeah, censorship. But yeah, I think this album's absolute trash. It is so fucking bad. It is again, it just exemplifies every awful stereotype of the genre. Like, if you want the absolute caricature that is often used to malign this genre and era of music, just look no further. You put this right on the shelf.
So I do want to say that this band has the funniest MC name ever in Shifty Switchblade.
Shifty Shellshock.
Shifty Shellshock. I don't know where I got Switchblade from. Okay.
That's a way cooler name. I think I want to be Shifty. I think I want to be Shifty Switchblade.
Oh, we're off to a great start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, Poncho, they did. The butterfly riff is sampled from Red Hot Chili Peppers, which I wasn't aware of until like recent years because I had never sat down and listened to all of Mother's Milk.
That's a good fucking album.
So
glossing right over that.
This album is insidious because every now and then, and maybe I listen to way more than I should have, but every now and then you think, oh, maybe it's got an idea there. Maybe something's about to good. And then you get shit like Dark Side.
Oh, God.
That's just embarrassing to listen to.
I think 98% of this album is fucking embarrassing to listen to.
Okay, so but also I didn't realize this. There's a KRS-One feature on here.
Yep, there is. How do you get a KRS-One feature? I mean, I guess the KRS-One's just that dude's gonna take money.
Hey, he's doing it for the check.
Yeah, like, it's fucking Snoop Dogg on an ICP album. Like, that dude's just like, look, you give me the track, I'll send you something over. Like, that's another great story. Like, ICP got ripped off by ODB. They sent him the track. They sent him the money. And then he just sent them fucking 15 minutes of him screaming about bitches, and they had to turn it into a song somehow. That's how KRS-One ends up on a Crazy Town album. All right.
I also feel like these MCs are trying to, vocally, they're trying to emulate Mike D and Ad Rock.
Oh, yeah. Like, they're very much like, it's like, look, the whitest white boy rap. Oh, God, it's so miserable. All right. I think I know where this one goes. I don't think that there's going to be any resistance whatsoever into saying that our inaugural entry onto Loudwire's top 50 new metal albums gets to go right onto the shit list.
I mean, it doesn't even have any of their good songs like You're a Pirate,
Yeah.
We Are Number One, It's a Piece of Cake to Bake a Pretty Cake. Oh, wait, that's Lazy Town.
That's Lazy Town.
My mistake.
All right, off to a great start, everybody. We've got an album in the Total Shit column. Total Shit Live. Let's go.
Crazy Town is toxic.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, Millie's here.
Hey, Millie's here.
You made it just in time for the...
You made it just in time for us to drop Crazy Town into the shit bucket.
Right.
All right, so moving on then. Moving on to number 49. I think we have a winner here. Here's the second Static X album, Machine. Where you at on Machine, Beepner?
So I grew up playing a lot of Quake 2 and Command and Conquer. You know, this industrial butt rock. I love this shit.
Yes, this is my jam. This album just like kicks start to finish, just from get to the gone all the way to the end. This album is fucking, like, Static X music is just fun. Like, it doesn't need to be anything but boneheaded, just like, give me them riffs, give me that 4 on the floor drum beat, give me some heavy bass, and give me Wayne Static just give me all
you
of that.
sounded just like him.
I know, right?
It fires zero from the band.
Don't
this
tell
is the true
any-
resurrection of Wayne Static.
Yeah, the truth is that I'm actually zero.
Okay.
I'm actually the one under the Wayne Static mask right now, so Secret's out. Everybody thought it was Edsel Dope. You fucking idiot.
Why would you think that?
You fucking rubes. You fucking dopes. Yeah.
Played us like suckers.
Yeah,
Suckers on the Crazy Town album.
Apparently, Wayne kind of recorded most of this album himself because he was paranoid that they wouldn't be able to like replicate the success of Wisconsin Death Trip. So that probably feels bad for the rest of the band.
Well, this album may not be as hooky as Wisconsin Death Trip. I mean, don't get me wrong; it's got some bangers.
Oh yeah.
I didn't have a copy of this back in the day, but yeah, I had heard Get to the Gone and I'd Say Go Undead. This Is Not.
Oh god.
There's some other good ones. Shit in
a
a Bag.
This is just top. This is top shelf. I think this absolutely. This is a winner.
I'll put it in top tier.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm absolutely happy with that album being there. Yeah. Static X is just a good time. Like, I'm always down for music that's like there to have a good time. So I don't really give a shit if like they were super fun live, by the way, too. And Wayne Static was a short little dude. I got to meet him, and he was a short little dude. So I kind of get why he spiked his hair the way he did.
I guess it beats wearing Kiss disco boots.
That's a good point. Yeah. But there's a pretty iconic image for a front man. You got to admit, like Wayne Static looked pretty fucking cool.
Well, and they did I can't remember the name they released this project under, but on the Batman Beyond soundtrack, Crash, he like did his hair in the Batman ears, at least for one
that
shot
one,
where he's seen in silhouette.
Yeah. That was really cool. Yeah. Static X Machine, that is our first absolutely go listen to it. This is just this is that absolute just riffy butt rock, just put it on and have a damn good time. All right. 48. We have Broke from Head PE. Where you at, Beepner? How do you feel about Broke from Head PE?
More like Head PP.
Yeah, I'm kind of there. Like, I think this album's got like good instrumentation. I like the production too. I like its big, loud, bangy drums. I'm always a sucker for loud, bangy drums. I like the way that they mix hip hop into their sound. I just think their lyrics are fucking dog shit.
This is one of those dudes who talks about like how good he is at sex.
Mm-hmm. And it's awful.
And yeah.
Is he holding a fleshlight on that cover, by the way? Like that is what it always looked like to me. It always looked like he was like doing something with his other hand, but it looks like he's holding a fleshlight, which would make sense, seeing as that this album is all like, look at me and I'm good at sex songs.
It's masturbatory, is what you're saying.
Yes, it's very masturbatory.
Yeah, I don't know. He riffs on that "I just want to celebrate" song, and he riffs on Biggie, and talks about how big his dick is. And
I can't believe that he got Serge Tankian and fucking Morgan Lander on Feel Good.
I think Serge would show up on just about anything, like on a lark. I mean, he was on those
Serge
like Puff Daddy songs on the South Park album.
Oh right, he wasn't he? Yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't know if you believe the whole rumor that System of a Down was originally supposed to be the band in All About the Benjamins.
Oh yeah, I heard about that, but I sincerely doubt it.
No way, my Uncle Nintendo says it's true.
Yeah. I have the Chef Aid CD. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know.
I think I heard Killing Time on one of those This Is Hard and Heavy Music compilations, and I was just like, okay, this sounds like a thing that they put together. This sounds like what people who don't like nu metal think all nu metal sounds like.
Yeah, I think that this kind of gets that label. So like, I think the instrumentation is okay a lot of the time, but again, it's just the lyrics and the vocalists are just get out of here. Nobody wants to hear about how anyone is at sex. Nobody's ever liked a sex song. Nobody has ever listened to a record and the sex song was their favorite one. And this is
Bringing it
especially...
back to Crazy Town, do you think anybody like ever got laid by playing Bloody Butterfly? Least of all the guys in Crazy Town.
Oh my... I find it hard to believe that any of the guys in Crazy Town got laid to anything. I feel like they're the chump band that other bands brought along to just like fill the 30 minutes of time beforehand, and they couldn't even get a handy from the groupies. So where do you want to put Head PE? Do we put that as in this is not very PogChamp?
That seems fair.
Yeah. All right.
Again, I'm not going to go listen to it,
Not again!
Well,
No, I've had about enough of that. Like, I revisited it once for the sake of this list. It shall never enter my delicate ear holes ever again. All right. Are we ready to move on?
let's do it.
All right. Number 47. We have a band who just sums up the review for me with their band name. It's Statement from Nonpoint. Even back in the day when a friend played this for me, it was just like, yeah, this is like the most nothing thing you could have ever put in my ears.
Apparently this band played at a festival I was at, and I have no memory of them being there.
You were probably actually there watching them, and that they were so mediocre that your brain got rid of that as information that would never be useful at any point in your life ever.
I mean, when I was listening to this, I didn't hate it. They had a hardcore punk thing going on.
It's okay. It's total, it is music that exists. It is music. It is competently played. There's nothing really offensive about it.
They do a pretty good Busta Rhymes cover during a medley.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give them that.
Better than that Biggie shit on the Head PE album.
Yeah. Oh, God. Ugh. God, please don't ever do that again. Yeah.
Hey, at least it's not like mindless self-indulgence covering Big Papa.
Oh,
where he says the gamer word.
Where he just says the gamer word. Yeah. He does that in a bunch of songs, really. And it's just kind of like, okay, you people go ahead and keep on defending that, I guess. Okay.
Well, at least Head PE's vocalist could say those words, but nobody in his audience could.
Nobody in his audience could, but I bet they rapped along. I've been to a couple of those rap shows where it's really awkward that the white people around you are rapping the words that they shouldn't be rapping. It's a very awkward situation.
Well, honestly, if I'm a show, I don't want anybody around me to be rapping anything. I want to hear the
I want to be
who's
hearing,
I paid to see.
Right. But you've always got those people that want to scream, sing along. Yeah, who died and gave you their...
How are we feeling about Nonpoint?
Yeah, again, we literally forgot we were talking about Nonpoint. and started talking about Head PE again.
I mean, I might check out more by this band. I don't know. There's just enough there. I know it sounds like I'm not really saying anything that stands out, but they're listenable. Yeah,
it is... I was not offended by this. I didn't I never reached for I want to skip. I never reached for the skip button. So, and I never heard a guy say, "Hey, let me see that porno." Because that's a weird thing to just say to another person, which was... So yeah, that's another...
Looking at porno mags, trying not to bust quick.
Yeah. So Nonpoint, I guess, is kind of eh.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
Yeah, Nonpoint. And we're getting a spread here so far. It's not... We're seeing the sheer dynamic range of this genre so far, and it's mostly forgettable to suck.
Wait, nu metal has dynamic range?
There are a few albums that had a pretty decent dynamic range, actually. Listening back to some of this stuff. All right.
I listened to it on YouTube, so I'm sure it was fresh.
Oh, yeah, at least it wasn't Spotify, where it's just where they just forced that awful fucking master or normalization on you, and you just like, especially in the web player, you just can't turn it off, and everything sounds garbage. All right, number 46, Primer 55, the new release. This was an album. This was the album for me where it was just like, we made an album and it's got music on it. It's just like, that's just how this album hits me. It's not like, it's not, again, it's like the Non-Point album, right? Where it's not offensively awful, but it feels like if I were to like go to an AI algorithm and say, hey, make a new album, a new metal album for me.
Make the new release by Primer 55, and they'd say sure.
Yeah, like this is what I would get. Again, not miserable or awful, but
so Taylor, to be fair, nobody's heard of Primer 55.
Yeah, like Primer 55 being on this list. This list is arbitrary as fuck, by the way. Is another thing.
That's what I was thinking the whole time. Why the fuck is this on here? Who is this band?
Who's heard of Primer 55?
I've never listened to them, but then like I looked at the cover of one of their other albums. It's like, oh yeah, the one with the cartoons of the two chicks like punching each other out. I remember seeing that in Best Buy sales papers. I saw that
in a fucking Best Buy sales bin, and I remembered nothing else by this band. And it's just like, yeah, you are like Non-Point is more remembered than you because I know that I heard Non-Point on the radio.
I think the problem with this is, like, one, the guy sings about how good it's sexy is on a couple of songs.
It's always the worst.
Two, it sounds like it's trying to be a little bit of everything. Yeah. It's trying to be grungy. It's trying to be hardcore punk. It's trying to be, look at how big my dick is.
And it's not good at any of it. It's not great at any of it. It's just like, well, again, like, you made an album and there's music on it. So I think this is another one for the pile.
I'm going to say it's not very PogChamp.
You're not very Actually, yeah. You know, like, just the fact that it's on this list around, like, all of this other stuff that I know that I've heard of does feel kind of offensive. So Primer 55, you are not very PogChamp.
Well, not to mention some stuff that didn't make the list that should be way above Primer 55.
Oh yeah, like there's definitely a list of stuff that I have that will hit at the end of this that I would say deserves to be on this list a hell of a lot more than fucking Primer 55 or Crazy Town or Head PE.
It can only go up from here.
Yeah,
right?
I think we can only get better, right? There's certainly nothing I'm dreading getting to at all that is way higher than it fucking should be on any list ever. That is not just like most shittiest thing you ever heard in your life. But we'll get there. Moving up to 45. Taproot's Gift. And this for me is a case of right band, wrong album. Because I think this
so I'm not familiar with Taproot, but this doesn't even have the two Taproot songs that I'm familiar with on it.
The Poem
and that other one.
Again and Again. This is Taproot's first album, and it sounds like it. Like it is a good idea of where they're going. And, like, if they had have just waited a year and, you know, released the next batch of songs instead, that would have been a stellar debut. But, yeah, Gift is just... I don't think it's bad. Because, this is listenable. I can listen to this through just fine.
This band makes me think of 311's Angrier Little Brother.
I don't really hear that. Personally, I think that they're kind of doing. I think this is a more pre-screamo kind of. This feels more like pre-screamo to me. Like it's almost there. That genre's taken form, but it's not quite hit yet. That's kind of where this sort of hits.
I have my own opinions on where screamo comes from, but we'll get to that.
I think the only thing notable about Taproot is that they like Fred Durst initially is the person that scouted them.
No good.
And like he didn't offer them a very good deal, so they went and signed with Maverick. And then you can actually find this on YouTube. He actually left an angry voicemail on the lead singer's answering machine about how he was going to blackball them out of the business and how they fucked up and how, like, if he ever saw them, he was going to fuck them up. Like, this is, like, the height of Fred Durst fuckery. So that's kind of like if you want to talk in terms of like the most notable thing about Taproot at this point, it's that Fred Durst like got butt mad that they didn't sign his very bad record deal.
God, imagine being Fred Durst and thinking you had the kind of clout to end somebody's career because they didn't want to get shafted by you.
Right, and then, like the weird thing is, it's like, okay, Taproot really never did catch on, so like. Was it?
I knew some people who were really into it, and I was just like, okay, like, sure. I mean, you know, they're no Linkin Park, I guess.
Right. Like, I think it's just like, okay, they never really caught on in the way that I think that they were meant to, like, in terms of just, like, the way that, like, because Maverick signed them and they made a really big deal out of it. Like, it was supposed to be this big thing, and it's just like, Did he really blackball them? Maybe because Fred Durst did have that, like that you know, he was a big name at the time. This was like
okay, 2000. But he couldn't put Cold over.
Oh God, that would take some effort. Like I like 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage, but even I'm not going to bat for that discography. So I like even as somebody that likes Taproot, I'm willing to put this as kind of eh.
Okay, again, you know, I have no skin in this game, but that's fair.
I don't think that it's bad. Like, I think it's like like the songs just aren't 100% there yet. They've not really locked into the style of what they're going for. And like, when you get to the next album, Welcome, it's just like, oh, well, like, I wonder if you named your album Welcome because like that would have made the better fucking, you know, debut.
I mean, some initial albums just aren't meant to take off.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have a few hooks in there, even if you're trying to do something more
artsy,
more meaty, I guess.
Yeah.
More artsy fartsy.
And this album does not have hooks. No, it's not very hooky at all. All right, so that'd be Taproot. Moving on to 44, we have Every 6 Seconds. From Saliva. The Click Click Boom guys. How do you feel about aren't they from Atlanta?
I don't know. There's a few bands from Atlanta. These
I know that like the thing that's distinct about them is that I feel that like their sound has a southern flavor to it that's baked in and it's not super overbearing. And I think that gives them kind of a unique sound. And
I can kind of see that, but I listened to 4 songs on this album and I was like, all right, turn this shit off.
Oof, rough. I can get through most of this album. I like again, this isn't like sitting there enjoying it, like sitting there rocking out or anything. I do think the last song, the last song on the album, My Goodbyes, is pretty good.
I just, to me, this sounds like somebody decided to take like not as memorable Stone Temple Pilots riffs and rap over them.
And Josie Scott as a lyricist sounds really weird. Like I hate his nasal ass delivery.
Yeah, I just the Click Click Boom song.
Like he sounds like Danny Brown, but Danny Brown like makes it work.
I just like how he says, my parents work perfect, but you won't hear me bitching and moaning like everybody does on their CD. Yeah. Gee, I wonder who he's firing shots at.
Yeah, like literally in the entire movement.
Well,
I mean, I think
but in the end, people remember Saliva as being a band that did songs that showed up on WWE intro tracks. This doesn't even have that "Ladies and Gentlemen" song, which is like a carnival barker theme, because I guess we needed a new metal version of "Carnival 9" by Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Oof. Damn. Yeah. Saliva every 6 seconds is about like maybe you only want to listen to 6 seconds of every track.
WrestleMania X8. Or is that 10-8? Like Final Fantasy X-2?
Final Fantasy X-8. Yeah, WrestleMania.
Or maybe it's Mega Man X8.
It's the 8th WrestleMania 10. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I think this one belongs in the toilet.
Yeah, this is. Do we put it in the toilet, or is it the "this is not very PogChamp"?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't think it's really offensive. I think it's just bad.
Well, okay, we can spare it from the Crazy Town fade.
Okay. All right, Saliva. Sorry. Maybe there's a better album with that's Saliva related at some point on this list. Maybe.
I see what you did there.
I'm very clever, aren't I? All right, moving up to number 43, we have Power Man 5000, Tonight the Stars Revolt. And I think this album is just a super fucking fun delight.
Yeah, I'll go to bat for this.
Yeah, absolutely.
They kind of became a punchline. I mean, yeah, it's cheesy.
Yeah.
Is it more glam than metal? Sure. I mean, they sound like Kmart White Zombie songs.
Like, they're leaning into it is the thing. Like, this is all intent. Look at this packaging. You cannot look at this packaging and tell me that this is a band that is taking themselves seriously.
Okay, but again, like there are many hooks on this one, not just like the one or two singles, not just the new wave cover. Which, by the way, doing a new wave cover was kind of the thing in the new metal era.
That was really.
Seems like everybody else was doing it.
Yeah,
but the cars, while a lot of those covers were kind of, why did they feel the need to put more heavily distorted drop tune guitars on this song? They cover "Let the Good Times Roll" by the Cars, and it's actually it works.
It fits. It sounds like it belongs on this album. And that's the thing where I think most of those shitty fucking covers go, is it like they never feel like they at any point work with the overall sound of the album. And like this album has spent so long playing with these fun little styles and just just the varying themes and all of it, that when you get to "Let the Good Times Roll," it's just like, no, this just belongs here.
Yeah, but I mean, there's multiple bangers on this. You know, Supernova Goes Pop,
Supernova Goes
Worlds
Pop,
Collide,
Nobody's Real,
Automatic.
It's Automatic. Like we will sit here and
X51.
The entire fucking track list is a bop, dude. Like, this is an absolute winner. It's like 30. Like, this is 35 minutes of you throwing on headphones or throwing on this CD and having a damn good time. Like, that is what this album is. Like anytime I've thrown this album on, big old smile on my face. I just have a great time with it.
I mean, they would go on to do things that were sonically different, like the "Destroy What You Enjoy" album, which is more like party punk, I guess.
Yeah.
Almost an Andrew WK sounding thing.
Almost, yeah.
But they kind of always, I won't say always, because it's like, it didn't seem like they were chasing trends. It was definitely a gimmick, but they would kind of float back into the whole, like, you know, sci-fi, weird comic book aesthetic.
Yeah.
From
I think
time to
that's
time.
just because that's what, like that's what Spider-One's interests are. That's where it lies. Like the reason Rob Zombie's whole shtick is fucking horror movie aesthetics is because that's what he likes. The reason Power Man 5000 kind of revisits this whole spaceman thing a lot is because that's the spaceman comic book thing is. That's because what Spider-One likes. Like, come on, the guy's named himself Spider-One.
I mean, I wonder if he ever entered the Spider-Verse.
He was probably the first there. He built the Spider-Verse. But yeah, man, this album's a winner. Come on. Absolutely. I don't think that there's any argument here, right? Like that this goes
top tier.
Right there. Absolutely. Power Man 5000, Tonight the Stars Revolt. They would do a follow-up a couple of years later, They would do a follow-up a couple years later called, what was it? Anyone for Doomsday. And not as good, and they actually knew that, and he shelved it, and then they made a totally different album after that.
Didn't he fire his band, too?
Yeah, there's been so many lineup changes in Power Man 5000, it's just, like, ridiculous. How's it going, Kit? But yeah, yeah, he's fired his band a number of times, and but I think that anytime PM5K puts something out, like, I will absolutely give it a spin. I'll give it a listen. Like, I'm happy to do that because I just think that, like, that guy just has a lot of fun making music, and like I feel like he's largely just making it for himself and having a good time, and he's got the audience to support it to keep touring. So God bless him, man. Yeah, they got your old Twitch account and update everything. I know how that feels. You know how that feels. So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. All right, so Power Man 5000, Tonight the Stars Revolt. That is our second. Hey, go listen to that. Like these two albums are very similar. Moving on to number 42, we have The Height of Callousness from Spine Shank. How you feeling about for the band that has probably the most painful sounding band name of this era?
How do you recover from that?
How do you? Yeah, like that's just ow. I
mean, it's not quite as blunt as Hammer Smashed Face by Cannibal Corpse, but probably gonna fuck you up in the long run. While a hammer to the face would probably kill you.
How do you feel about the height?
This one? It's not just
the
Alley Project.
Oh, I bet Rat knows this one because I probably sent it to him in like 2002. How do you feel about The Height of Callousness?
Yeah, I like this one. This was the band that Dino Cazares from Fear Factory helped get signed. Is that accurate? Yeah.
Burton C. Bell is on the first Spine Shank album.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I listened to that one too.
Yeah, he's on Enigma Start the Machine. Right at the end.
That one's weird though, because like you could kind of see some of the elements that would go into this album, but there was also like more of a Deftones thing going on Strictly Diesel.
Yeah, Strictly Diesel is very much like this is Deftones light. And then this album is like, oh, you guys found an aesthetic that 150% works for you. Like this album is like amazing. I fucking love this album to hell and back. Like if I were to do my own like top new metal list, this would be 3, 2, or 1. I love this album to fucking bits. Like I love the fact this is an album that when you look at it and then you put it in, there's nothing that is incongruous with what's happening. It sounds like it looks. This album doesn't sound like a human played a single note on it. And I think that works for what they're going for here. I think Johnny Santos is an incredible vocalist that is just so incredibly underrated from this era. Like, I think he just gets totally overlooked in terms of vocalists. And I think that guy's got some great cleans, and his scream is just, it's so wildly distinct, and you can understand him. And that's not a thing that you can always say about singers that are doing the kind of screaming of this era, that you can understand most of what they're saying. Like I think like Johnny Santos and Corey Taylor, I think, are two of like the most distinguishable voices of this era, where it's just like I can listen to this, and when you're screaming, like I still get words from that because you're still enunciating. But yeah, like this album is full of anger. This is the album I definitely throw on when I'm just fucking pissed. And it just, like, it says everything I want to. Like, just look up the lyrics to The Height of Callousness and it says it all.
Yeah, I remember Synthetic being...
oh, yeah, Synthetic was the hit from this. Synthetic and New Disease actually popped off pretty hard for this, for them. So, yeah. So no secret where I want this album, but I won't. I don't know. Okay, Beepner, this album for me, it rests here.
I like it, but not to that extent. I would say it's got some jams.
S break. I'm throwing out my S break. I am using my S break on this album to put it on the listen to list. This is like I said, this is the album that like if you were to make me make this list, it would be 3, 2, or 1. I love it that much. Like, this album still gets play from me at least 4 or 5 times a year. So, yes, I fucking love The Height of Callousness, and I do not feel bad burning my S break here. So a little tick mark by that. Polly burned her S break for Spine Shank's The Height of Callousness.
S for Spine Shank.
S for
Spine Shank break.
My Spine Shank break. Ow! How did we make that name even more painful? Any further thoughts on The Height of Callousness?
No, I'm good. Again, like, yeah, it's more of a electronic cold wave thing that you kind of got hints of on Strictly Diesel, but I guess they hadn't come into their own yet. Yeah. This just feels like a logical progression of that. So yeah, that's where I am.
Yeah,
on that.
This is like a 30-minute punch to the face, and then you're done. So yeah,
if it's short, then it really gets points.
Yeah, this is a 30-minute album or so. I think it's like 32 minutes or so, and it just gets in, does what it needs to do, and is out. So. Yeah, I'm happy to have burnt my S break here. Like, I'm fine with that. All right, moving on to number 41. Spit from Kitty.
So, this album has the best song title ever.
There's so many.
Get off, parentheses, you can eat a dick.
Yep, that's the one. You gotta give these girls credit for having really great song titles, and I think they're probably made a better album than Saliva.
Yep.
So impressive is that this album was written when these girls were 14.
Yep. And
it was released when they were 16. I don't think that you can. Like I'm not saying that that's the only thing that you can use to judge this album by, because obviously like this comes from like there is a shocking amount of maturity in this album's themes and lyrics. It feels really already like lived experience with the amount of misogyny that they're railing against and the feminist themes that come through. For fucking 14-year-olds to be writing that is just kind of like, that's pretty wild. And to my knowledge, they did not have like outside writers. Like, it sounds like, no, this was fucking homegrown shit. Like Morgan Lander, Mercedes Lander, and Talena, I can't remember her last name, Talena Atfield, were the core of that band starting out. And apparently like they just wrote all that shit together. And Fallon Bowman would join, I think, around the time that this album was coming out. Yeah, like, this is a pretty strong showing for just like fucking 14-year-olds putting out an incredibly potent and powerful piece of work. And it actually got some play in 99. Like I heard that, like in 99 and 2000, like I heard this around, like, and I know that they fucking got to tour Ozfest and like open for Slipknot. So like, yeah, that's kind of a crazy journey to be taking at the young age of 16 years old. But overall, I think that the album it's all right. Like you could definitely tell that it was written
by 14-year-olds.
That it was written by 14-year-olds. Like there's definitely like a lack of maturity and a lack of discipline in the songwriting. It doesn't always.
Yeah. So like themes about feminism and misogyny. It's like, unfortunately, some of the lyrics come off a little hole-y.
Yeah, they definitely sound
particularly like Charlotte and Do You Think I'm a Whore?
The thing is, like, I think Charlotte is probably the best song on the album. Charlotte and Brackish are probably like the best 2 tracks on the album.
Spit's pretty good too. I'll throw that one out there. This one's got some jams.
This got jams. I think Morgan Lander, like, you already can kind of like her scream isn't there yet. Like I think her screaming on this album's not it's not there. But again, I think you attribute that to just being.
I will say some of the production just falls a little flat, especially on Brackish. Like when she breaks into that feral punk scream, it's just kind of like there just needs to be like a little more
oomph.
Production oomph, to carry this over.
Yeah, this album got jams. Absolutely.
If he's asking about the Trails in the Sky S-Craft icon thing.
S-break. Those are S-breaks. That means that, like, if there's an album that you really like, and let's say Beepner doesn't like it, well, you can be like, well, I'm going to put it on the list anyway. I'm going to put it on the
top tier.
I'm going to put it on the top tier anyway, and that's your S-break. And we each get one of those, and I've already burned mine. I burned mine on Spineshank's The Height of Callousness. So yeah, Beepner still got one that he can push to the to the Give It a Listen in 2023 list. Yeah, it's kind of the combo breaker. The Sanctuary is Butter Vision, the game that I literally stopped playing yesterday. All right, so are we ready to continue? Any final thoughts on Spit?
It's probably wouldn't spin this in the car all the time, but yeah, it's serviceable.
Yeah, it works. It works. Good on them for being able to put something out like that at 14 and having the discipline to make all that work. Like, that's incredible. All right, moving on to number 40. We have Untouchables by Korn. I'm not really a fan. This album, I think, is kind of just like, I feel like Korn had already kind of said everything that they could say without making a drastic change or kind of like maturing in some way. And this album is not the one where they did it, especially when you listen to songs like Beat It Up Right, which is, hey, all right. People are going to think that we're anti-sex, and it's not that. We're just anti-sex song because sex songs are gross, and I don't want to hear about your penis.
Okay, yeah, you pretty much nailed it. Beat It Up Right is dog shit.
Oh, God.
Just as a song, but like when Jonathan Davis writes lyrics about sex, they're usually pretty self-loathing.
Yeah.
And Beat It Up Right is like kind of taking that and turning it on its head, like making it a joke. Haha, we're doing a sex song. Like, remember Adidas? But this one's just like a parody of a Korn sex song. And again, not helped by the fact that the song is just sonically dog shit.
Yeah. Oh, God. Like, what is that chorus? What are you singing? What are you trying to do? Can you believe that Korn finally actually just got an Adidas deal this week? That actually just shocked me. Like, I saw that, and Korn actually just got a fucking Adidas deal and fucking died.
Like, I guess they're figuring that nu metal's gonna make a nostalgia comeback.
Yeah. All right. So, this was like produced by fucking mega producer Michael Beinhorn. They paid millions of dollars to get this album made, and it is mostly just forgettable.
Here to Stay is okay.
Yeah.
I like Wake Up Hate.
Wake Up Hate's really good too. Right after Beat It Up Right.
Yeah, very palate cleanser.
Yeah, need it. You gotta pull out of the fucking nosedive after that.
And Thoughtless is on here too, which has that weird music video with Aaron Paul in it.
Oh right, shit. Yeah. All right, where do you feel Untouchables goes?
So I would say this got some jams. However, the inclusion of Beat It Up Right and the fact that like this is on the list at all kind of makes me want to dump it down to kind of out of spite.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, that's kind of where I would put it, because I do like a few tracks, but it's not enough to make me ever want to revisit the album. So kind of for Korn. Not a good showing for the first appearance on the list, which I'm sure there will probably be more.
Which album has hyperfisting? I mean, maybe John Davis talked about fisting at some point.
It's probably in there. Moving to 39. Felons and Revolutionaries by Dope.
I like this.
Oof.
Really?
Oof. I think
Really?
this is oof. Oof. This has got to be like one of the most cheap-ass plastic-sounding albums I've like ever heard.
Okay, well, okay, yeah, okay. It doesn't sound great.
This album sounds like dog shit.
Again, yeah, the guitars are kind of buzzy. And again, I listened to this on YouTube, so I kind of had to throw out the idea of criticizing the production out the window. And plus, I'm not an audio engineer. I don't have like the trained ear or the vocabulary to describe
I don't think
why
that
I don't like how something sounds.
I don't think that you need to be an audio engineer to think that this album sounds like fucking everything was like fake and plastic. It just sounds really bad. The guitars are just buzzy and fake. The drums are just... What are those drums? That is the worst drum machine you could fucking come up with, my guy.
Dope is the IMF band. Yeah, that song's not on this album.
No, that's
but
not...
Yes,
Yeah.
the Spin Me Round cover is on this album, and, you know, which is like, I knew that. I knew Everything Sucks. Also a Fuck the Police cover on this one. So, you know, 2 covers for your... $15.99 or however fuck much this album cost at Sam Goody back in the day.
Yeah. Also, Edsel Dope is kind of a just not like just has no range as a vocalist at all.
He sounds like Tim Skold to me.
Yeah. Like, and I can't listen to Tim Skold because Tim Skold just puts me to fucking sleep.
I like some of his stuff on KMFDM.
It's okay, but God, just his solo stuff is just, oh my God. Man, for me, Felons and Revolutionaries, I know that I am like, I am either kind of or this is not very good.
What would put it over for you? Is it just a matter of...
I think it's just
instrumentation, production quality. I mean, it sounds like knockoff Ministry.
Yeah, like that's
in a lot of songs.
Like, yeah. Knockoff Ministry is really what does it for me. Like, if you want to give this a kind of like, I'm with you, I'll ride, but I like it would be hard to make me go higher.
I say it's kind of. I don't think it deserves the hate of like Primer 55 or Head PE. I mean, let's be real.
I do kind of like Debonair.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, so I'll give you that. Edsel Dope wrote one good song in his life.
Or like Edsel Nope.
Edsel Nope. All right, moving on. Number 38. Machine Head's The Burning Red.
I had this one.
I had this one too. This is like Machine Head.
So when you take a thrash band and then they do a nu metal album, what do you expect that to sound like? Do you expect to hear like, you know, hints of the music they once made? I mean, you know, I know the term sellout got thrown around a lot during this era, but do you feel like the direction is inspired?
No, like, dude, I hate to bust on Rob Flynn because I don't hate Machine Head at all. And I feel that, like, a lot of the time Rob Flynn is just the guy that wears his heart on his sleeve a lot. And maybe he just says and does a lot of stupid stuff. But this album and this era and this look felt really fake at the time to me. Because he did the whole, like, he literally changed his entire look to, like, look like those guys. And it was just kind of a little embarrassing, I think. I'm not going to be the person it's like, oh, they made just a rap album. Because this album literally only has, like, 2 songs.
It has, like, yeah, two rap songs. The opening track and then... I forget the name of the other one. Because they sound the same. The 2 rap songs sound pretty much exactly the same.
But when you got
he talks about smoking Sinsemilla in a lyric, which just sounds really inauthentic to me.
Yeah, it does. Come on, dude. I don't believe for a second that you are that guy.
Fucking Tommy Chong, Rob Flynn, Machine Head.
311, you are not, my friend. I'll tell you who's got the herb. It is not Rob Flynn. But
so yeah, I agree. This album sucks. However, it's better when Rob Flynn's not trying to rap.
Yeah,
the more melody songs are are the better ones on this album, and I'm typically not a huge fan of ballads.
Dude was
okay. I'm fine with ballads if they're done well,
yeah.
but it seemed like in the late '80s, every thrash band was putting a ballad on an album, wherever they're needed or not. I don't understand why. Among the Living by Anthrax has a fucking ballad at all.
That's so.
I mean, that's a wild tangent.
Like,
but
that's literally there for the sake of we need a ballad.
But on this one, the more ballady songs are fine.
Yeah.
The Message in a Bottle cover is fine. It's not going to replace the original for me.
No.
But yeah, just like the rest of it is either boring or just cringingly bad.
Like the only
the blood, the sweat, and tears is an okay song.
The thing that I will give the man credit for, like, putting his own childhood sexual abuse out there, because that's what 5 is about.
Taylor says going from the More Things Change to this, yeah.
Yeah. I'll give the man credit for being brave to kind of put that on record in the raw way that song tackles it. It's very like there's no doubt at all what that song is. And I think that it's very effective, and I think that, like, and I know for a fact that, like, I've heard him talk about people, like, coming up to him and thanking him for that song. So, like, all the credit in the world for being able to kind of put something like that into song and confront it, and also, you know, I feel kind of on this. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I feel like it almost falls in the not very PogChamp range for me, but it's, you know, it's got good songs on it that I guess would have been better served by not being on this album.
Yeah, like, I think...
And being shitty by association.
Yeah. I think that's really the case here. All right, moving on. Number 37. We have 13 from Mushroom Head. I'm a bit local for this one, so Mushroom Head was kind of a big thing. And they're from Columbus, Ohio. So
okay.
I was they were a big. You got a mushroom head that's better than the rest.
So I remember, I think it was Rhett posting the clip of the video for Kill Tomorrow, and he said, "Oh, I didn't know Quan Chi from Mortal Kombat 4 was in a new metal band."
Yeah. Yeah, like for me, like, I grew up in the area these guys were blossoming in. So, like, seeing them, like, I saw these guys come up before Slipknot. So it was kind of a fun thing for me. Not a lot of people have that perspective. So that's really fun.
Yeah, I'd never heard of Mushroom Head until, like, you know, well after hearing about Slipknot.
Yeah, that's literally most people. It's unfortunate because they literally were doing, like, the thing Slipknot does, like, years before. Like, I think Mushroom Head got started in, like, 1992. So
yeah, if you give any credence to those YouTube channels that are like True Rock Stories of Wikipedia, or it's like Roadrunner Records wanted to sign Mushroom Head and they said no, so then, like, you know, they went to Slipknot instead.
Yeah.
And then Mushroom Head was like, oh, that, you know, Roadrunner, you know, we didn't want to sign with them, so they just invented their own Mushroom Head. And
yeah,
it's like,
shut up, get out. But 13, I like this album. I think this album's got some good jams on it. I wouldn't go to bat for it being like 100% listenable, because I do think that there's some stuff near the back that's just like, oh, that don't need to be there. It's way too fucking long. Stop that.
It is a very long album. It's doing some interesting things that almost sound hair metal-y to me, which I know doesn't, like, really track with the era of music we're talking about, but you know, it's probably one of those albums that grows on you.
Yeah, like this album,
it's got
like,
a few like Kill Tomorrow.
Oh yeah, Kill Tomorrow. Like,
there's one with a female vocalist featured on it. I don't recall the name.
Yeah, like I think this album got tracks. Like, I think it's pretty solid.
Okay, so we're thinking got some jams.
Yeah, I think it's got some jams. We good with that?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to 36. A lot of people know this one. This is Candy Ass from Orgy.
An album that they had to censor the name of at Walmart, not just the, editing down the tracks, but
yeah,
the actual album.
The actual album cover was censored.
Oh, is the digital O supposed to be a butthole?
I think so.
It's goatsy.
It's goatsy. We were goatsied before. I mean, definitely the side looks like fingers, right? That could be fingers. I like this album. I think this album's pretty okay. Like, despite the fact that it's very much like, I don't think that it's doing much original.
No, it's very cold wave or dark wave. Or if you even think there's a difference between those two subgenres of new wave electronic music. And to be perfectly clear, talking about the new wave that most people think of when they hear new wave, not the original definition to refer to things like Elvis Costello and Joe Jackson and the producer and shit like that.
Yeah.
There's some bops on this one. Social Enemies,
oh god,
right out of the gate.
Like I think like the first fucking
Stitches.
The first 6 fucking tracks on this album are just all fantastic. I think like Blue Monday is track 7, I think. So it's like 7 tracks in a row. It's just like solid. Like Dissension is probably my favorite bop from the album, just because I like those distorted drums and I like how that song just gets nice, big and bassy and loud.
Is it all programmed drums on this album?
I think so, yeah. I think all of the drums are programmed on this album. I think Jay Gordon mostly did.
Live the drummer played like a synth drum kit, right?
Yeah, live yeah. I think Jay Gordon did most of this album by himself. So I think this is definitely one of those like
the Jay Gordon to Spider one or to Wayne Static.
To Wayne Static. Yeah. This like everybody fucking knows fucking Blue Monday. Come on, like it's such a good fucking like that's a great cover. It fits the album fine.
It loses points for me for adding an unnecessary chorus.
It also loses points for being a fade out.
Yeah, quite a few more fade outs than I expected going into this project across multiple albums. Yeah. Yeah, this was a band that Jonathan Davis actually
he got these guys
to his Vanity label.
Yeah, Elementary. So do we go with Give It a Spin?
I'm gonna say yes, just because it's so different from everything else that we're talking about here, except maybe Spine Shank. I can hear similarities between those two bands.
Yeah. Spine Shank being the more aggressive and loud version of that, whereas like Orgy is more goth and kind of like toned down. And I think that like there's obvious...
And Jay Gordon's definitely doing gothy vocals.
He's definitely doing the Marilyn Manson croak at some points.
Yeah.
I do remember Manson in an interview being asked about Orgy, and his reaction was just kind of he laughed. That was it. That was the reaction to Orgy. Absolutely happy with that one making it into the listen to it in 2023.
Yeah, Poncho, I can hear the Peter Murphy thing. It's not as pronounced.
Kind of, yeah, because it's like faking a British accent too. Yeah.
I think if you're singing, well, it depends. It depends on how heavy a British accent when you're singing. Like
Billy Joe Armstrong has it happen all the time, and I don't think he's trying to do that.
He kind of seemed like more of a California surfer to me. People gave Al Jorgensen from Ministry shit for faking a British accent on With Sympathy, and like his own story has changed. Well, about a lot of things, probably because his brain is so drug-addled. Basically, they like. I guess what's closer to the truth is somewhere in between. Like he wants to say, "Oh, the record label made me do it," but it's probably just like, no, he was just like paying tribute to the bands that he, came up listening to.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we move forward?
Let's move right out of this candy ass into
a coal chamber.
Into a chamber pot.
Everybody, this is the debut from Coal Chamber. Like this is kind of like.
I mean, you see the progression there. We're falling from an ass into a chamber.
I got you.
It's a turd.
It's a turd, and there's a toilet. I got you, homie.
Okay, can we talk about this fucking album cover?
It's like, today is the greatest day I've ever known.
I don't. Okay, I know the IT crowd wouldn't be for a few years or maybe decade, but I swear that's Richmond driving the van. But also, it doesn't go far enough. Like I'd expect the ice cream truck to be selling, heads, seven fingers,
Yeah, like
entrails.
it's still just it's still just candy and shit. Like, come on, you didn't go far enough with this, guys.
You solarized everything with the black hole sun, chroma filter, but then and you got a fucking mortician driving an ice cream truck, and then it's just a regular ice cream truck.
This album's got a song on. Like if Iffy were to be a wrestler, it would be her theme song. It's called Big Truck.
Big truck.
And it's literally just a song about a big truck. Like the thing about Des Fafara's lyrics early on is that they're just very on the nose. Like there's a song on this thing called Clock. The lyrics are clock, tick, tick, tick.
He did it before Metallica, folks.
That's a good point. I think that this album's kind of fun because I think that it has a lot of I think this album's got a lot of punk energy. And I mean it's I think that it in terms of its very simple instrumentation, in the way that songs kind of repeat themselves, that feels very punky to me. I feel like there's some punk inspiration here at the very least.
So to me, this album has two kinds of songs on it. Mm-hmm. Faster Corn.
Yeah.
And just Corn.
And just...
I mean, they even do the same detuned slap bass, rattly, fret buzz thing.
Yeah. This album unfortunately has some unfortunate weird racism in it with the Amir of the Desert skit. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And then there's another song called Maricon Puto, which is the first one is that's not a good word for gay people, especially men, and then bitch, of course. I kind of dock it for that because it just feels, but I understand that you hear that a lot. It's like, oh, it is of the time. Oh yeah, Raina Foss was married to Morgan Rose of Seven Dust for a while, I believe. Yeah, she went missing a couple of years ago or something, and everybody thought she was dead. But then no, she was just hanging out at her house. Okay.
Was the Amir of the Desert song about the guy in Orgy?
Yeah, it's about a murderka. Was
he in on it?
I probably. I mean, there's a hidden track at the end of this album of them just fucking around in the studio, and so it's okay, it definitely sounds like none of this was really mean-spirited or anything. Obviously, I don't think, but obviously, in 2023, maybe that shit doesn't fly the best. But
the fact that they included that was very
no go. I think this album got songs because I do like Loco. I like Bradley. I like Pig. I think Sway is kind of just a fucking no-brainer. Big Truck is awesome.
He does the roof is on fire thing. That's kind of okay, Bloodhound Gang.
Yeah,
did that too.
Yeah. I think this album got songs personally, but if you wanted to put it, I wouldn't complain.
You can put it in this. It's got some jams. I'm probably not going to give this any respins anytime soon.
I'll go kind of It's fine. Because I think the songs that are bad are really bad. I just think Iffy would really like Big Truck. Go listen to the song Big Truck by Coal Chamber. You will at least Iffy will like it. All right. Moving to number 34. We have Sinner from Drowning Pool. It's an album that I think
Bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
This is an album that I think is entirely unremarkable, aside from the fact that Bodies is on it.
It did so. The Jet Li movie, The One, which features that song, quite prominently in an action sequence.
Yeah.
But there's also another track from this album on that movie, and that is Sinner, the title track.
Yeah.
And, I'll say a lot of the stuff on this album doesn't quite sonically follow Bodies.
No, Bodies feels like this is our new metal song.
Yeah, I didn't hate this, but I'd be hard-pressed to name anything on it other than Bodies and Sinner.
Yeah, I don't think it's terrible. I think it's competent. I would go either this isn't very PogChamp or it's kind of eh. What's your pick? Where are you at?
Kind of eh.
Kind of eh.
I feel like a lot of these are going to be kind of eh, and I know that's kind of a cop-out ranking, but
Right. There are some of these that I might fist fight you over. There are a couple others that I might fist fight you over, so we'll see. I know that's me blowing I blew my S break real early, but there are still a couple that I would like. All right, we're gonna have a knife fight. Where is Polly Polyhead? I don't know. Where did she go?
Did you disappear from the layout?
I disappeared. Did I disappear? No, I'm here. Because I'm running the stream exclusively through OBS, so I don't have to look at anything else. I think they're referring to my character in Toad 22484's Super Mega Baseball 4. I have a pretty good.
Oh.
He made me a pretty good character. I'm very good at putting runs in. I'm good. I tend to finish first at seasons and RBIs. So, moving on to number 33, we have Dysfunction from Stained.
Dysfunction is a function.
Oh, that's Pitch Shifter.
That's Pitch Shifter, yeah. I'll let you give your opinions on this one first.
I didn't hate it.
Okay, I'm with you. I actually like this album.
Aaron Lewis is so emotionally tormented on this, and I mean, I don't think it really fits nu metal.
No.
Because in the same way that Alice in Chains was also very tormented and introspective, although they were, a much better band, and it seems to me Mud Shovel was the really heavy song, but then I believe that was immediately followed up as a single by Home. And while I don't hate Home kind of
it got played out.
Signaled what Stained would become synonymous with.
Home became
just really mopey, acoustic driven. I mean, there's distorted guitars on Home, but it's just ballady, just
slow ballad. We are not breaking 50 beats per minute here. You're just gonna sit with us, and Aaron Lewis is gonna cry.
Time's my only friend, and friends like that just don't add up.
I made a Stained lyric generator years ago that was just all sad, and it had this gif of Aaron Lewis with a tear running down his face. I was very funny. I think this album was pretty all right. I remember playing this a lot because I think that this album does have a lot of stuff on it that is not Home. Mud Shovel's really good. The opener I remember being pretty good as well. Let's see here. What's the track list for this one? That's what you. That's what you.
Track list pulled up, but I didn't want to have 50 open tabs.
Yeah. Raw is pretty good. Crawl, fun, yeah. Just Go. If you want to talk a good slow song, I think I liked Just Go way more.
Unbeknownst to me, this was not their first album.
No, their first album was actually an album that had a lot of weird satanic looking stuff on it, and Fred Durst tried to get them kicked from their tour Yeah, Spleen.
Guess he wasn't feeling those lighters.
Yeah, like, but like he saw the album art for their first album and like literally tried to get them kicked off the tour. And like they had to like, and then they had a conversation. Like, no, I write sad boy music. It's fine. I cry a lot. And he was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I rap a lot. I'm very good at it.
Fred Durst sounds like a real piece of work.
He does. Where are we at with Dysfunction?
It's got some jams.
It's got jams.
I'll give it a, it's been a while, which would come later.
Oh, God, man.
If it's mopey sad boy music, I mean, that song makes me want to kill myself.
Yeah.
So I won't have to live in a world where I have to hear It's Been a While ever again.
It's Been a While is pretty miserable. And I think we all agree that, and again, like, I don't think anything Stain did after Dysfunction was good, like, at all. I think there's, like, one or two songs I like on Break the Cycle, and then that's it. And then Aaron Lewis became like a fake fucking, look at me, I'm a country boy. I'm a big old Republican now. I play acoustic songs. I don't use a microphone. I get real mad when people talk during my set. That's exactly how Aaron Lewis sounds, by the way.
You're a bar band, dude. Of course people are going to talk to your set. They're there to drink. They're not there to listen to you.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to number 32. The debut from Soulfly. I dig this one. I think this one's really good.
I had this one, and revisiting this, I was prepared to hate it. But I gotta give it a pass. It holds up.
Yeah, this really holds up. Even with Fred Durst being on a track, he's going in. He goes in really fucking hard. Like, dude is literally blowing out his voice to belong here. Like, you can hear his voice literally dying in that track in Bleed, and he's just going for it. And it's like, good on you, dude. Credit where it is due. I think this album is just pretty damn good. Like I think I would actually fucking give this like a listen to it in 2023. I think this album is really fucking good.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think I'd rate it quite that high.
I mean, I'm willing to go with you on it's got some jams. It's fine. I'm willing to go down one.
I just feel like it's a little long, and that's not even like having the extended version, which every fucking album had to do back in those days.
Okay, that is a good point.
Because I guess when things are released internationally, like in Japan, they get they get extra tracks, and then the regular version gets released here first. They have the Japanese extra track, and then they do a re-release with the extended tracks on it. I don't understand that practice, and a lot of them have that shit.
I mean, there's got to be some kind of metrics to it that tells them it works, or they wouldn't have kept doing it. So I'm willing, thinking about it. Yeah, like I do remember like revisiting this and thinking like this being like an hour and 2 minutes is maybe a bit much.
Yeah, like they redo a Sepultura song on here, except faster. They do. Is Chino a feature on this one?
I believe so. Yeah, this album did have a lot of features because Soulfly was originally created, as a tribute to someone.
Right.
Yeah. So.
It's got the Oomba Bar Oomba cover, which I didn't even know was a cover until I heard it in a commercial. The original version, it's like a 70s folk song.
Yeah, but like God, like Eye for an Eye, Bleed, just like this song got this album got jams. I think absolutely.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Right. Moving on to 31. We have Sevendust's debut. Sevendust. How do you feel about Sevendust?
It's a pesticide. No, wait, that's spelled S-E-V-I-N.
S-E-V-I-N, yeah.
If it's called Sevendust, why are there only 5 of them?
Why are there only 5? My thing with Sevendust...
I've literally never paid attention to.
Here's my thing with Sevendust, is I think...
Punches...
I think Sevendust is, like... They're a band who I don't think have ever made a consistent album. I think that like the only thing consistent about their albums is that they when they do hit, like the first 4 tracks are good, and then like the last 2 to 3 tracks are good, and then like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and that middle is always real spongy and just kind of like, well, there's some tracks here.
Yep.
That's kind of how I've always kind of felt about Seven Dust, and I don't think that this album breaks that. This is where that cycle started, because I think that like you start with Black, Bitch, Terminator, Too Close to Hate, and then you get Muddy a little bit.
Yeah, Poncho, they are from Atlanta. I actually saw Seven Dust at the same show that Nonpoint was at. That I don't remember Nonpoint being there.
Mm-hmm. I will say this: I fucking love LaJawn Witherspoon as a vocalist. Even if I think that they just cannot consistently ever deliver an album, I will always listen to new Seven Dust because I love LaJawn Witherspoon as a vocalist.
Yeah, he's got some pipes.
Absolutely, dude can go.
To me, this album has like some Living Colour, some King's Cross things going on. It's gonna sound like I'm just saying that because LaJawn Witherspoon's black.
But it's mixed. Like this album is mixed very similarly to like to Vivid or Living Colour's Vivid. This album is mixed very similarly. It's very reverby.
Black, Bitch. You know, it's there's some hard hitter. There's some more down tempo stuff here too. Talking about the mix, there's times where I feel like if this had come out like 3 years earlier, would this have gotten lumped into the nu metal set?
Yeah, it feels more just metal to me, honestly.
Yeah, or alternative metal.
Yeah.
Which again is like, what is the delineation between alternative metal and nu metal?
What does that even mean? So what do we do with Seven Dust? How are we feeling? Like, what do we do with him? What do we do with this one?
It's got some jams, but it's not essential listening.
Yeah, I think that like if you want to hear the good, like go listen to Black, Bitch, Terminator, and Too Close to Hate. So kind of
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to number 30. We have 10,000 Fists right up your ass.
That's the hyperfisting song.
That's the hyperfisting song. We found it. We found it. I don't like this album.
Really?
I think this album needed to be 3 songs shorter. And the thing is like the back half of that album is kind of weak that I don't know what 3 I would cut to make this work.
I remember, of course, 10,000 Fists. What's the name of the other song that got radio play?
Deify?
I don't think it's the one that goes, all that you want is to criticize.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, I mean, I don't hate this one. It's got the Land of Confusion cover, which sounds okay.
Yeah.
It changes up the instrumental part, which, I guess, whatever, you want to make it a guitar solo rather than, a track that was mostly like programmed drums and synth driven.
Yeah.
Because doing the 80s cover song thing, even though this was 2005.
Yeah.
Okay, this was mid 2000s.
This is like the end. Like this is way past. Like I feel like calling this album nu metal is almost just kind of like this is way stretching because I feel like nu metal really was done in 2002, 2003.
Yeah, I agree. Or at least I was done with nu metal.
Yeah, I was way out. Like, dude, like I wasn't there. Too new for new. Yeah. Yeah. So
do you think this is not very PogChamp?
I just don't think it's that good, honestly. Yeah, I'm happy putting that there. All right. So next, coming up to 29. What? Well, deja vu. Welcome back. It's Seven Dust again. With Animosity. I think this album's more consistent.
I think this album's not very memorable.
It's not memorable, but it is more consistent. I think that it's very much kind of like that whole this is kind of like almost the definition of isn't it?
Why? Yeah, like why is this on this list? Why is this high on this list?
Yeah, this should not be. Yeah, like this does have Angel's Son, and I think that that's the only reason it's here. And even then,
the tribute to
James Lynch Strait,
deceased snot singer Lynch Strait.
Yeah,
from
it was
the Straight Up compilation. So probably not even like was supposed to be on this album originally.
Yeah, because all of those songs were written by Snot, like by the members of Snot, like, and other vocalists came in to finish that album, which was originally supposed to be the second Snot record. And
new metal version of Temple of the Dog.
And the version of Angel's Son on this album, I don't think is as good. I think that the other one is just more raw and more emotional. This one is just way more slicked up and produced. So,
I seem to recall Praise getting some radio play.
Yeah.
That's really the only other thing I can kind of point to on this album.
Yeah. So is this one getting a big fat
Yeah.
Cool. Seven Dust. That's kind of like where I predicted they would end up, really, because again, I just don't think that they're capable of putting together an album experience, unfortunately. All right. Number 28. Right into the trash pile. I don't even care.
POOD.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm not even talking about it. I don't fucking care. Fuck POD. They can eat my ass. They have a song called Abortion is Murder. Get out of here, you fucking idiots.
Okay, so here's a segment I want to introduce where we talk about tracks that showed up on Weird Al's Angry White Boy Polka.
Okay.
And Youth of the Nation by POD showed up on Weird Al's Angry White Boy Polka.
I somehow missed that. And I consider myself a pretty big Weird Al fan. Oh no, we dumped on Kit. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I just fucking hate POD.
So I'll say this. There was an era in the 90s where Christian rock was getting like mainstream crossover appeal. Not that like never happened before,
sure.
Amy Grant.
Yeah.
But it was kind of that thing of like, well, are they, aren't they? Like Creed, King's Cross, which, Cross. That was more 80s.
Yeah.
But,
and then like the more blatant, like, yes, we are, like Skillet.
Yeah, well, Skillet fucking sucks. I'm sorry.
They're fucking dreadful.
But it's like, I can say that there's a place for religion in more aggressive rock music because you listen to the hellscape that is FM radio these days, and it's all like the religious stations are all. They can't even be called Christian rock because they're worship music.
Yeah.
They're literally just, God is great, let me suck God's dick. It's never introspective. It's never questioning. It's never conflicted.
That's my biggest
problem. Why does God allow, like, bad things to happen? And, like, trying to put that emotion out there because, like, it's kind of a cliche, but negative emotion, like, a lot of times makes for better music.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, like, that's my biggest problem with Christian music is that it's just so up Jesus's ass.
Because, like, again, King's Cross, it was, well, 10,000 fists up Jesus' ass.
10,000 fists up Jesus' ass! I think that's all we need to say about POD. That's it. I'm moving on. Fuck them. Right. Number 27!
Yeah!
Wisconsin Death Trip from Static X. You know where that one's going.
So we're not even going to talk about it?
No, we are going to absolutely talk about it. This is like where it started. This is like where you got your first fucking shot of evil disco. And my God, it was just like, yeah, like nobody's doing this. Like nobody's doing rock music like this at this point in time. So you fill that void.
Yeah, I had this one.
Yeah.
I got it for free through some radio station.
Oh,
promo
nice.
Thing.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like Push It, I'm with Stupid.
God. It's bled for days.
Bled for days.
Like,
Ostigulation.
There's not
Otsegulation.
Otsegulation.
What the hell is an Otsego anyway?
I think it's got something to do with vampirism.
Oh. Trances the Motion.
Transit, like this, like just again, this is another front to back. Just like, this is fun. This sounds great. You put this on, you are going to have a good fucking time. 100% guaranteed. Right?
It's very hooky.
Yeah.
It leans into the samples more than Machine.
Yeah.
would.
Yes. Yeah, Machine really doesn't have a lot of sampling, whereas this one has a lot of movie samples in it, and I think that really creates a really cool and unique sound for this album.
And let's be real, Push It is just Electric Head Part 1 by White Zombie.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Kitty also remarked that the fast parts in Brackish were inspired by Static X. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they were inspired. Yeah, I think we know that this gets just express trip to the top. That's just the easy one.
Cool.
Yeah, no debate there. Like, just absolute banger. Look at this, like, list at the top. It's just fun, cool shit.
Static X got 2 spots on the top.
Yeah, just
kind of,
like
who that is.
Like, I think that those first 2 Static X records are just fucking flawless, though. They're just that fucking good. They're that fun. They're that awesome. So we'll do.
I wasn't expecting to enjoy this one as much as I did listening to it after so many years.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking like, oh, this isn't gonna hold up. It's gonna be too corny, too hooky, too. As much as you could call like industrial rock, this too bubblegum.
Yeah.
But no, it holds up.
It's so fun. It's so fun and so good. All right, so one more and then we take a break. What do you say?
Sounds good.
All right, moving up to 26. We have our first entry by Deftones, Adrenaline. So this is the first Deftones record. It definitely sounds like a first album. What is the mix on this album, by the way? I absolutely hate it. It sounds so boxy and shitty. I hate it.
Deftones, so Deftones would go on to be pretty much exclusively noise rock or noise metal.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to new Deftones that much. I did listen to Gore.
Mm-hmm.
And, Gore is an apt name for that album.
Yeah, it's I like it. I think it's really good, though.
And so listening to this, I can be like, yeah, were they always kind of that way? I mean, maybe not all the time, but yeah, I definitely hear it coming through on this.
Yeah, for sure.
And it kind of makes me wonder, like, why was this considered nu metal?
Yeah, this is just more like
Chino does rap.
He raps a bit. I think 7 Words is a song that most people just kind of like latch onto. It's like, oh, that's a rap song because he's saying words kind of fast. Again, like a lot of it's just misconception and people not knowing even what this fucking term means.
And I mean, they did hang around in the same circles as Korn.
Yeah.
And how many other like nu metal bands have a feature by Chino on them?
Yeah, good point.
So talking about screamo earlier,
mm-hmm.
I feel like this was proto screamo.
Yeah, I absolutely see that.
Because this has a lot in common with like post-hardcore and like stuff like At the Drive-In.
Yeah, for sure. And, for sure.
This is okay.
Yeah, it's all right. Like
I wasn't expecting to like it that much, but it holds up. Yeah. It's not super hooky.
Mm-hmm. This would not reach the heights that later Deftones albums might, but I think that you definitely see that this is the genesis of where a lot of those ideas were coming through. Like, these are people very clearly starting to mature their craft, and this is a snapshot of that point in time where things were like maybe starting to coalesce into something a little more substantial. So I think that definitely goes for, you got some jams, homie. We good with that?
So yeah, I'm good with that. So Kit says she always thought it was spelled deaf,
DEAF
tones. Although one could read it as deft ones,
Deft
like
ones,
deft
yeah.
as in skillful.
Yeah, skillful. Yeah.
Or as my older brother said, the tone deafs.
The tone deafs. Yeah, I think my dad called them the tone deafs when he heard me listening to them at one point growing up. Or I like played it in the car or something. You got parents. You know how that goes. Why are we turning your entire late teens on its ear? That's just what we do. That's how we play here at the Poly Stream. All right, so that is the first 25 down. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back, and then we're going to tear down the last half of this list. So we will see you momentarily. Be right back, people. We're back! Did you miss us? we've returned to talk about more very good music. I hope everybody had a chance to use the little B-Tubers room while you were out.
EP time.
It's pee-pee time. I need to read Butterfly Soup too at some point, don't I? I need to get to that.
Yeah, you got to do that. Because what am I going to do?
What are you going to do? Do it
myself?
yourself? Fuck no.
Me play a visual novel? Never. Only like kind of not good, kind of gross ones that are a demo and will probably never get finished, even though they got Kickstarter funded.
Hooray! All right.
Student Union. That's what I'm talking about.
There you go. All right. Jumping into the first half of the list, this is currently where we stand with our rankings. We ended up with a lot of We got a couple of poopy ones. We got some not so great, but we got a lot of stuff here up at the top. It's definitely worth your time. I think I think we're curating a pretty good list so far. So let's go ahead and get right back.
Are we going to come to blows over our opinions later on?
It could be, because I did blow my fucking S break real early. I'm thinking now, it's just like, oh man, I might have to just actually knife fight you, or just turn the call off and take control of the stream myself. All right, moving up, number 25, we have Science from Incubus. How you feel about it?
So I thought, I don't need to listen to this one again. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh wait, we got to do a stream this week. I should probably listen to this again, and I'm glad I did. This holds up. This
is solid. Like, Brandon Boyd might worship at the altar of Angel Dust era Mike Patton. I don't think he's ever made any bones about that. That said, I think that like this album is good enough and his performances are solid enough that really doesn't matter.
It does sound very Red Hot Chili Peppers-y, which some have also accused of ripping off Faith No More.
Yeah. Like that, just like my favorite things, like fucking just like Redefine. If you don't know the fucking intro to fucking New Skin, if you don't know that, if you don't know that, come on, get out of here. No, there's nobody in it that does not know that shit. Like, I would abso-fucking-lutely put this at the top of the pile. I think it absolutely deserves it. Up to you. What do you feel?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Top of the pile.
Yeah. Science is a jam. Like, that's just like, it's undeniable. Like, it's such a good mix of styles. Like, yeah, it does have some of that rap rock stuff in there, but then it's got like these smooth fucking jams, and then it's got fucking crazy fun metal jams. Like, it's just all over the place, but it sounds wholly consistent with itself.
It's more funk metal to me. I mean, which, you know, I think it's a victim of the time it came out. But if you listen to the EPs like Enjoy Incubus, and then there's Fungus Among Us, which I think is just a lot of the same songs on Enjoy Incubus without the turntables.
Yeah.
Just because of like the era and this came out, and the fact that it has turntables and a lot of sampling on it, it got lumped in with the new metal crowd.
Yeah, this definitely doesn't 100% fit that. Like, this is new, and like, I'll definitely have more opinions on that going forward. So yeah. Incubus, Science, absolutely.
Yeah, a lot tighter production wise and songwriting wise than those old EPs were. So yeah, this definitely deserves a listen.
I love the production on this album. I think this album sounds great. Like, just everything comes through. It's super crisp. It sounds real good on the old headphones. Absolutely. Incubus is a winner, everybody. All right, moving up to number 24. Is Psychic Heist out there? Because we've got our first appearance from Limp Bizkit. We have Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water. I think this album's poop.
Well, you know, with a title like that.
With a title like that, yeah. Like, Fred Durst at this point had just gone so far fucking overboard that it's just it's so, I can't take any of it seriously. Like, it's just like white guy rapping about being successful and being sad about it, I guess, at some point. And like trying to take that out on fucking Trent Reznor, which is funny. Cause
I'm not familiar with that story.
Yeah, Hot Shot, the whole, like, the song, like, or Hot Dog, I think, is the first track on the album. And it's got, like, the chorus is literally an interpolation of Closer by Nine Inch Nails, of, you wanna fuck me like an animal. And he's just mad because, like, of Starfuckers Incorporated, basically. And the funny thing is that, like, Trent Reznor had to sign off on Fred, like letting
using the
interpolation,
yeah.
And he was just like, "Yeah, this is the easiest thing I've ever signed for in my life. Do it, dude. Have fun."
Is he more of a real one for doing that, or for clearing the sample for Lil Nas X, Old Town Road?
I think both. I think both are solid, man. Like, I think Trent's just always kind of been a solid dude like that.
Yeah, I remember this one.
Like,
I remember
Rollin',
a lot of songs from it.
Everybody fucking knows Rollin'. Like,
I'm not gonna say that many of them were particularly good.
Yeah.
Like, My Generation!
Oh, God, I just remembered My Generation, and you fucking gave me an aneurysm in my butt.
So on the Angry White Boy Polka, My Way by Limp Bizkit.
My Way? All right. Probably, yeah. I think this album's pretty bad.
It does have that Exhibit feature on it. Back when Exhibit still rapped and didn't just, like, present people with ugly cars on a shitty reality show.
I like Exhibit as a rapper just because I liked his voice a lot, so I liked listening to him because he could go in too. Like, he has really good flows and shit. So yeah.
Also, two versions of Rollin' on this: the
new
metal version and the hip hop version,
and the air raid vehicle version. Yo, dog, I heard you like rap, so we put rap in your rap. Man, it's just like, I'm not even like a Limp Bizkit hater. I'm mostly just kind of neutral on them. But I think this album is just, as an album experience, it's like fucking 20 tracks or something.
Oh my God.
It's just so long and just I don't know, like I think we put it in the special kind of suck, because I think this album's just trash.
I didn't even re-listen to it because, again, it's like I felt like my memories of it were enough to form an opinion. And if I did re-listen to it, I would probably be a hard special kind of suck. I do hear Rolling a lot more than anyone should have to, like, in the 2020s.
I literally referenced it in Poly Dungeon, so like in the final Poly fight, like you like, one of the player attacks is that you assault Poly with bad new metal, and like a small clip from Roland plays.
I heard somebody playing it at a con, because apparently that's a thing to do with costumes nowadays, is to walk around with a Beats pill and play music related to your cosplay.
Yeah.
And I was like walking through the convention hall. I heard Limp Bizkit's Rollin', and I did not turn back to see what it was. Mm-hmm. And as I kept on walking, it did not get quieter. So this person was clearly walking in the same direction as me. And it triggered my fight or flight, because I was like, okay, get me away from this shit. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Get it away! Get it away!
I can only assume they had a Namasi-related costume. Mm-hmm. You get it, rolling.
I got you. I got you.
Ball.
I got you.
1, 2, 3 times 2 to the 6. Chosen for your fix by your Limp Bizkit mix.
Mm-hmm.
People everywhere just shut the fuck up and back the fuck up while we fuck this shit up.
Oh my God. Number 23! Here's a banger. LD50 from Mudvayne.
Berber ding,
Berber ding, berber ding, berber ding. Every fucking buddy on the planet knows the opening bass line to this album at this point. Berber ding, berber ding, berber ding. Like, this is like if you wanted to take Like Mudvayne's LD50 is like if you wanted to take like new metal and infuse some really heady prog into it with like really weird time signatures and time changes and then just like absolutely insane musicianship.
Yeah, Ryan Martini is just like
Fuck!
unholy terror on the bass, and I don't say that because he dressed up like a devil.
Yeah, like Sever is one of my favorite bass lines. Like I learned that shit just because it was like that shit like is part of my soul. I love this album. I think that like this just blew me the fuck away because I think that it like completely redefines like it says that like okay like we'll take this whole new metal thing as a base and then we're going to be very smart about it and make really cool smart music with it. And this album is just really good. I think this album has a really cool vision with all of it's doing too, with its little interludes and things that kind of tie everything together, that kind of give you a little break between all, because these songs are really fucking heady. They kind of like
there's all these like skits with samples talking about like psychedelic drugs.
Yeah,
and
like
shit.
I mean, like LD50 is literally like overdose
Mushrooms.
terminology. Yeah, it's overdose terminology. So like it's lethal dose 50 is really literally what it means. And like the pharmacology playing into all of like the artwork for the album and the way that it all kind of fits into what they're doing with like trying to create this psychedelic experience with the interludes. Like I'm usually not that person that wants like interludes on an album, but I think that the songs on this album are so meaty and dense that I like having that little like 40-second to 1 minute like little coast between each one and like that creating a seamless little like passage for each track, and I think that like all the songs are just generally fucking great. Like there's just not a bad song on here.
Yeah, the prog comparison is apt. It's a little Tool-y.
Yeah, absolutely.
This came out late enough in new metal dumb that I kind of didn't care about it. I saw Dig on MTV and I was like, oh, this is like Slipknot, but like with less wikis and
Wow.
samples and shit.
Well, funny
but,
you mentioned that because Sean Crahan of Slipknot is actually listed as an executive producer on this album.
Huh.
I think he helped.
But yeah,
them
listening
get a
to this,
deal.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I think he helped them get a deal. But yeah, like for me personally, this is an all-timer. Like I already burned my ass break, so I can't make you. I can't make you. But like for me, like everybody listening, go listen to Mudvayne's LD50.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
I appreciate that. You're a very giving person. I think that this album just deserves to be there. It follows through on a vision very well, and I think that like the music that's there is really good to accompany all of that. So
I'm vaguely familiar with some of their later tracks, and they just sound like emo butt rock to me.
they kind of went that way, yeah. After LD50, they really did go more mainstream. Like there's still some proggy elements to what they do, but it is in no way like it doesn't live up. It doesn't quite measure. Yeah.
Some might say they matured.
Oh boy, that's a statement, huh? All right. Moving on. Number 22. Well, look who it is! It's our good friends Limp Bizkit once more with their debut $3 bill, y'all.
The pollution.
I think this album is like I like this album. I actually really like this album. This album speaks more to me than anything else they ever did because this album is just raw as fuck. It's untainted by the industry in a way that like the rest of their discography would become. Fred Durst is rapping about shit where it's just like, oh, you're a human being and you feel shit. Oh, and you're actually rapping your fucking ass off.
Yeah, he leaned into the ha 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 everybody hates us thing like a little too much on later albums.
On everything else. Like, but this is like an album where like this is their first album and you have all of your life to write your first album, right? And this comes from like lived experiences and like being hungry and like wanting to put like music together that means something. And I think that a lot of this album like it has dumb moments, of course. Like it's there. Your band.
Oh yeah, boy, dude, it does it ever.
But but I think that like this album, like as raw as it is, and as hungry as they sound, and like Fred Durst has not reached that point where he's like a famous guy. He's just like a dude that can like actually rap his ass off really well. And this isn't leaning into some big, like, oh man, everybody hates us now and we suck. It's like, I don't need to hear it. Like, nah, this is just a guy rapping about his problems, and he's genuinely really good at it. And like, Wes Borland is just a crazy fucking guitarist, and things he's doing on this album sound insane. So, yeah. That's where I'm at. Like, I love the production. I think the overall, it's pretty good. Even in its weaker moments, I think this album is still pretty good.
Yeah, the Limp Bizkit hate it's overblown, but it became shorthand of, oh, the 90s, the new metal sucked, Jinko's, white guys rapping, whatever. And, you know, I get that Fred Durst he's very whiny.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm sure his voice grates on a lot of people.
His voice got way whinier. Like, his voice gets whinier with every album. Like there's a whiny scale, and like he's turning a big whiny knob, and he's looking back at the audience like a contestant on The Price is Right.
But you know, I can't hate this album. Mm-hmm. You know, like that line in Deadpool, I'm gonna do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the 90s. You know, ha ha ha. It's like, you know, punch down, make the easy joke. But this. I wasn't prepared for this to hold up. It kind of does.
Yeah, it's still pretty... I think this is a good album.
There's some psychedelia, and I mean like 60s, 70s guitar rock psychedelia on here.
It's wild.
Can probably only contribute to Wes Borland.
Oh, yeah, it's Wes. Like, Wes Borland is a fucking madman.
It loses points for me for, obviously, the Faith cover.
Oh yeah, the Faith cover is the worst part.
I don't feel like that does anything like special other than, you know, we put a new metal breakdown in an acoustic George Michael song.
I don't know how that song became the fucking hit from this album, when I think that like shit like Counterfeit and Pollution are so much better.
Or even like Sour, and then the other song that's like right after Sour, that's basically the same song as Sour. But you know, they're good. They're good songs.
Like,
and I mean, and again, they're emotional. They're not just, I'm a famous guy and I got a big dick.
Yeah, like that's...
he's clearly singing about stuff that came from a, like, you know, actual life experience.
Yeah.
It also loses points for Indigo Flow. I hate songs that are just name drop sessions.
Yeah, Indigo Flow does not work, unfortunately. Yeah, it's just kind of like a 5-minute, like, here we're thanking everybody that was involved. And then you end the album with like this 20-minute fucking like freeform jazz kind of weird thing. It's just... I
didn't mind that much.
No, I like everything. I think everything's pretty all right. But in terms of like the rest of the album, it's just kind of like, whoa, that's the weird thing. And they put it at the end, so the album's over. The album ends with Leech, basically. I think it got jams.
Yeah.
Yeah, this album got jams. Limp Bizkit can get a pass on this one. Like
just skip Faith and Indigo Flow.
Yeah, skip those two. Like, if it didn't have those two and had two stronger tracks like that out, we would be talking about listening to that in 2023 as a definite. Right now,
this hate is all the world has even seen lately.
Oh god,
that was that Mission Impossible.
Yeah, that's the Mission Impossible
movie song.
Now I know.
He's on a winery scale. His voice is graping.
21. All right to the trash can. We've got another POD record, more like a POS. I fucking hate POD.
I don't know why this album's on here, because they already did the album that is the one that everybody knows with Alive and Youth of the Nation on there.
Yeah, I remember Southtown being a big one. But like
I do. That's probably the only song I know from this one, and I know that because of like one of those Street Team demo tape things that was being passed around. Mm-hmm. And to me, that song is really ripping off a band called Life of Agony.
Oh, yeah, I can hear that.
Yeah, they weren't that really well known, and they were a Roadrunner record signee.
Yeah.
And again, like if they had come out a little bit later, they might have got lumped in with nu metal.
Sure. Yeah. But yeah, I fucking hate POD. Just get out of here. Like you can't get me to listen to a fucking POD. I didn't listen to either one of them to prepare for this. Okay, I didn't give a shit. I fucking hate POD. Moving on to number 20. We're starting to get to the big guns now, hopefully. Number 20, we have Infest from Papa Roach. Where are you at with Infest by Papa Roach?
Where am I with Kobe Dick?
Where are you in Mr. Dick if you're nasty? He rocks a mic with a voice that's raspy. Why would you open your album with such a corny lyric?
He was firing shots at Crazy Town, or it's like, how can I be like the most embarrassing white rapper?
Right. I don't know. I still think he's not as bad as Crazy Town. Or Head PE. I don't think that Jacoby Shaddix.
Is Kobe Dick a funnier MC name than Shifty Shellshock?
Well, I mean, at least Kobe Dick at least sort of comes from his name, Jacoby Shaddix.
Yeah, Jacoby Shaddix. Yeah.
But I think I'm okay with the rapping on this album. I don't think that it's anywhere as miserably fucking dreadful as anything on the Head PE, the POD albums, or Crazy Town. I think this album is pretty honest. I like a lot of its honesty in the things that it's dealing with. And I think that like a lot of the songs are actually pretty good. I like Blood Brothers a lot, but then again, I played a lot of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Yeah, Blood Brothers is all right.
Yeah, Blood Brothers is probably like anybody that played THPS 2 is just like it's like the first fucking song that comes on when
I thought you were singing Tom Sawyer for a minute there.
No. Fucking Christ.
So I feel like this band gets, or at least on this album, they get a lot of their guitar licks from Iron Maiden, of all people.
Well, Last Resort is literally Brain Stew by Green Day sped up.
Really?
Listen to it.
No, but it goes.
Yeah,
That's definitely an Iron Maiden riff.
does Brain Stew. Brain Stew's chorus literally is. It's literally that.
Okay.
I'm not, dude. Go listen to it. After this. Go fucking listen.
I believe you. It's just. They sound like Iron Maiden riffs to me, and it's like it works. It works when it's being.
Yeah.
Punky. I like it better when he's not rapping.
Yeah, I think he's a better singer than he is a rapper.
At least it's not like that, song that they would have on the later album. Open the Scars or whatever.
Oh god, yeah. I think this song's got a pretty, or this album's got a pretty good hidden track too with Tightrope. That song's pretty good.
Oh man, hidden tracks. Everybody was doing those back in the day. Huh?
Yeah, like why would you hide your really good song? Like why would you not put that on the fucking album? Because I'd like proper and give it a listing. Because like Tightrope's pretty good. Like Tightrope is a song that was good enough they actually like remade it 20 years later, and it was not as good. So they knew.
Why do bands do that?
I don't know. Like fucking Power Man 5000 did a 2022 remake of fucking When Worlds Collide, and it's just like it's the same fucking song, and they didn't change anything.
What was it? Motley Crue Shout at the Devil 97?
Oh god, yeah, they did a 97 version of that, didn't they? So where are we with Infest? Like, I would say it's got some jams, but I'm not. I wouldn't argue if you wanted to give it an eh.
I'd have to give it a repeated listen. The fact that I want to give it a repeated listen bumps it slightly up out of the category for me.
Okay.
I was more prepared to hate it than I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember we talked before you actually went into that one.
That
Yeah.
opening line, I was like, oh god, this is gonna be painful, isn't it?
My name's Kobe Dick. Mr. Dick, if you're nasty, rock a mic with a voice that's raspy. Oh, and his voice isn't even raspy. Stop it. It's not.
He had to rhyme.
I know, but
At least he didn't make like a neurodivergent slur, like calling himself an Aspie.
oh, jeez, yeah, I could see that.
I guess that wasn't in the popular lexicon
yeah,
at the time.
yeah, Asperger's really wasn't popular at the time. All right, moving on.
I know what's next.
Oh no.
I almost forgot. Last Resort by Papa Roach on the Angry White Boy Polka.
Oh, it is, yeah.
When you have heartburn, nausea, indigestion, upset stomach,
diarrhea. We just wrote a better song than, or we just sang a better song than anything on this piece of shit. Who at any point thought that this was authentic? Who thought that this was like worth anyone's time to listen to? Oh my.
So I don't think a lot of people at the time knew that Kid Rock had other albums before these, and isn't he not even from a trailer park?
He's
like
not.
from a mansion in the suburbs.
He literally lived in a mansion in Detroit.
And his earlier albums, like he had like this Kid and Play haircut.
Yeah, he like looked like a fucking like eraser. Like he looked like a fucking pencil with an eraser on his head.
Who are those wrestlers? They're like Swedish or something, and they're twins, and they say Da Vinci because like they're trying to say Da Vinci, like Leonardo da Vinci.
You were asking the right person when you were asking for a
Poncho,
wrestler.
and I thought I saw Taylor in the chat.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Anyway, he looked like those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, this album is unmitigated trash. There's nothing redeemable about it. Did you listen to it?
I had this.
Ow! I don't have enough Earthworm Jim owls for that. Tell me about Kid Rock's Double Without a Cause then, because this is not an album that I would give any of my fucking time to.
So, it has Ba with the Ba. The best thing about Ba with the Ba is the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what a Ba with the Ba to bang a bang diggy diggy diggy
It's
said
just
the
a-
boogie said up jumps the boogie is. I think they stole that from 311.
Yeah, they stole that from a rap. Like it's a really old rap thing.
Yeah. So then there's Cowboy, and basically going over the songs everybody knows.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboy is terrible.
Mm.
I Am the Bull God, actually pretty good.
Oh, like that's the only one that comes to mind is I Am the Bull God.
Yeah, so Poncho mentions black chick, white guy. Yeah, he drops the gamer word in the hard R. I remember that. I remember Fist of Rage, which again, it's just like really, really rote hard rock that he's rapping over with kind of a southern bent, kind of like Saliva.
I got a whirlpool, don't even ask, licking pussy underwater, shooting bubbles up your ass? Tell me that's not a real lyric.
That sounds like an ICP lyric.
That's literally Violent J wrote that. Eminem is on this album. There's no way that Violent J did not sneak in the studio the day before he recorded and just rewrote that lyric and he just read it because he's a talentless fucking hack and just reads what's on the paper that somebody else wrote for him. I refuse to believe this man has a creative bone in his body.
There is a track on here where he lets his drummer sing, and like I don't remember the exact lyrics, but she says something about "you can kiss my black ass," so that's kind of funny.
Oh, so that's the reason he's allowed to use the hard R gamer word.
I guess she gave him a pass.
You're right.
Yeah. What else is there to say about Kid Rock, Devil Without a Cause?
I'm just gonna say Into the Bin. That's what I'm gonna say.
He would go on to like sample Metallica's "Sad But True" like wholesale.
That was the laziest fucking like. That's the laziest rap song I've ever heard in my life. Nobody's ever made a lazier rap song than that. I only know that one exists.
And then he would go on to mash up Werewolves of London and Sweet Home Alabama, and that song got mainstream play out the ass.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I remember the only reason I know the Metallica one is because my dad watched wrestling. So, and I knew that The Undertaker had a point where he turned into a hick, I guess, and not a dead guy.
Oh, yeah, it's biker era.
Yeah. Weird. Anyway, I'm done with
No, Ba with the Ba on Angry White Guy Polka.
Oh, well, there you go. That sounds like it would fit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on to number 18, we have Roots, Bloody Roots, from Sepultura. We probably know where I stand on this album, but what about you, Beepner? Where you at with Roots?
Does it give you poots, bloody poots?
We used to sing that. We used to sing that. It's that poops, bloody poops. This album is one of those that's kind of largely kind of credited with the popularization and sort of like some of the like the bigger one of the more recognizable like albums in the new metal genre, kind of like giving it some credit, I guess, giving it some street cred.
Yeah, we talked about Soulfly, and while like this is kind of the same direction, like I didn't listen to Sepultura when they were a thrash band. I'll talk about what I think should have been on here instead of this later.
Sure.
But this is just a nothing album for me.
Oof.
Like, yeah, you got Roots, Bloody Roots, because this is like. He was already like Max Cavalera was already leaning into the tribalism thing, but maybe not so much with the congas and didgeridoos before this, which would really become prominent on Soulfly.
Yeah, for sure.
But aside from the opening track and Attitude, which is a very slow song that they would make a faster version of on the Soulfly album. And then Rata Mahata, which I mainly knew from being like on an X Games soundtrack.
Yeah.
Everything else just kind of runs together on this one for me.
I can actually see that. Like, this is an album that at the time, like, lit me up, like, liked it a lot. But I think as the years have gone on, I don't think time has been kind to this album because it's just kind of like, well... Like I think that's the problem is I think that a lot of it just kind of runs together. Like it's mixed very similarly to the Soulfly album, which I mean you get that when you deal with like Ross Robinson. The dude's all over this era of music, but it's like I think that this album's still okay, but I'm not gonna go to bat for it because I do feel that like its weaknesses, especially towards like the back half. Are where the album sort of just kind of doesn't hold up and it goes a little limp. I'm willing to give it an if you want to compromise on that.
This was the last Sepultura album before Max Cavalera quit the band, and it seems to me like he took all the good songs and put them into Soulfly.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't really think Sepultura ever recovered, and that it's wild because they're still going. Like, they literally just released a new album, like, last year. So, good on them.
I had the first post-Max Cavalera Sepultura album with the new singer, Derek Green.
Derek Green, yeah.
And, I listened to, like, the first couple of tracks the other day, and I was like, ooh, this sounds really bad.
Yes, it's not great. So, are we kind of on Roots in 2023?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a fair place to put it.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to number 17. Round the Fur from Deftones. I think we're probably going to come... I think we'll be in agreement on this one, I think. This one just kind of...
Around the fursuit.
Around the fursuit. Around Fursuit Friday.
I tried to get Ashton Martin to sing this song, and she ignored my very funny joke.
Boo.
She did an Idol concert.
Oh.
In VR.
Oh.
Oh, it was pre-recorded.
Oh, right. So yeah, this is the follow-up to Adrenaline. This is the Deftones kind of stepping into the sound that would sort of like that it would kind of come to define them with more like just kind of like that mid-tempo dirge noise, just like really ornate instrumentation and arrangements. And a lot of really good stuff on here, like Ricketts too. That's just like super big and heavy. But then you've got like Be Quiet and Drive Really Far Away, or Be Quiet and Drive Far Away, which is just like, that's an iconic song of this era. Yeah, I feel this album is largely fucking flawless, but I'm willing to hear you out.
I agree. It's
No, Adrenaline was on Maverick. Like, Madonna signed them.
Yeah, Maverick Records. Yeah, this was a cleaner production-wise, still very like sonically, dense.
Yeah, still very similar.
Aggressive.
Yeah.
Songwriting-wise, it's a little more hooky.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Still very aggressive. I don't like Mascara as a song. I think I mean it's an okay song, but I compared them to Screamo earlier, and it's like on this one, if you pay attention to the lyrics a lot, it's got a lot of those kind of misogynistic, violent lyrics that would come to exemplify 2000s mainstream emo.
Yeah, I could see that.
Whether you if you balk at that thing, that's here, and it's kind of makes it rougher to listen to these days. I also feel like Mascara was like a prototype for a song that they would later become more famous for. Speaking of Max Cavalera, he's a feature on this one on Head Up.
Yeah,
where he plugs the name of his band that would release an album the next year.
Supply. It works though. I think Head Up is still a good song. I think even like with
I like this one. Ricketts, Labia, the title track.
Oh god, yeah, the title track especially. Yeah.
Be Quiet and Drive, My Own Summer, Shove It.
Yeah, like there's I like, even with Mascara being a bit of a weaker track, I think that this album still is absolutely like, yeah, go fucking listen to that. You with me on that?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Around the Fur gets the pass. Yep.
I thought I was gonna have to use my X brake on this.
Oh no, I'm a big Deftones fan. You are totally fine. You've still got a number of albums here you could use an S brake on. I mean, you could still use it on anything, that we've already talked about. Obviously, I mean, if you want to put Crazy Town up at the top, who am I to stop you? That's how S brakes work.
Look, I was thinking, it's like, do I have really anything that I feel strongly enough about that you wouldn't also feel that deserved to be top tier, that I had to use it on, or would I just be trolling at that point?
Yeah. And like, who's actually gonna like listen to anything on this damn list anyway? All right, moving up to number 16.
Not like we're talking about baby metal here.
Moving up to number 16. This is an I Don't Know Why This Is Here album.
Really?
Why is this here?
Why is this here?
Why this is not a new metal album. I don't.
Okay. I would make the argument that System of a Down is not a new metal band.
Yeah, like they are fucking avant-garde metal. I also just think that this album's just really weak. I didn't like Mesmerize or Hypnotize. I just think that they're I think they're both kind of boring. I'm willing to hear arguments to the contrary.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
What's the song? Sweet berries waiting for new ghosts are no different than you. I think Incubus recorded that same melody years before, but with less like rhythmic syncopation and uncommon time signatures.
Right. Yeah.
It's got BYOB. That was a big enough song to get airplay even during the Bush years.
Which is wild. Because because System of a Down basically got banned from radio after 9/11. I like BYOB. Like, there are some songs I like on Mesmerize and Hypnotize, but I think, like, as album experiences, they don't. Like, I would take some songs from Mesmerize and songs from Hypnotize and make one album. I don't think that both albums work as, like, really, like, solid albums on their own.
Oh yeah, Violent Pornography. That's another. Yeah. Everybody sucks.
Wait, isn't that on? I thought, like, I get these two albums mixed up with Steal This Album because they're mixed largely the same, so it all kind of runs together for me. I thought Violent Pornography was on Steal This Album. I could be wrong though. I'm willing to admit that. Find another very famous internet personality that is willing to admit that she is wrong.
Well, you can be like Bales and be wrong about everything, or just not know anything.
Just not like, yes, not the fact that she just fucking doesn't know anything, and I still think that's a fucking act at this point.
What did she say? It's like, wait, does a Kindle need
does a Kindle need a battery, or does a Kindle need power? It's like, okay, Violent Pornography is on Mesmerize. Okay, you're right, you're good. I'm not gonna.
There are some crap songs on here like Cigarro.
Oh God, yeah. Like, I'm not gonna fight wherever you want to put this. Like, I
don't really like old school Hollywood that much.
I'll let you place this one because I just kind of feel like, I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm a little too negative on it, and I don't want to like just drive something into the dumpster just so like, oh well, this isn't a POD album, basically.
Yeah, it's got some jams.
All right. We'll give Mesmerize some jams. I'm okay with that. All right. Moving to number 15, we have Issues by Korn. This is an album that at the time I was very excited for. Like, I remember actually, like, this is one of the first albums I ever bought day of release. Like, woke up that morning that it came out, went to my local records. I almost doxed myself by saying the name of the record store. Jesus Christ.
Sam Goody.
Because it's like a local place too, so that it could easily be traced.
We'll just say a generic one that used to be everywhere. But now is nowhere because record stores are no longer a thing unless they're independently owned.
Like I remember the night before this album came out that there was a live show that they played on the radio where they just played this album in full live.
Okay. So that must have been a syndicated thing.
Yeah, it was a syndicated thing.
Area too. Okay.
Yeah. Like
how the hell did they do that and get around the ASCAP? Hammer.
Korn at the time could literally do fucking anything, and they were on fucking Columbia and Epic, so I imagine that like they had a lot of stroke, and it was not a big deal. They played it live at the Apollo Theater in Harlem, New York. Yeah. So like this album rollout was pretty big, and I think that like a lot of the stuff on this album was pretty damn good. Like I even think that like the interludes, much like the Mudvayne album, I think that they add like just a little bit of something there. Like I think that like even though like most of them are just kind of completely unfinished ideas that I believe most of them were just done by Jonathan Davis himself. I know that he plays drums on all of the interlude tracks. But I think that they add a little something, and I think that like this album's got like a bounciness to it that it's really fun in a lot of ways, which is weird to say when it's an album that's tackling a lot of pretty dark subject matter with like drug abuse and child abuse and things like that. But Like, I think that this album just, like, it's weirdly enjoyable still. Like, I remember actually a few years ago, like looking at the calendar and be like, oh, shit. Like, I remember today is actually the day that this album came out, and going back and listening to that album again and just being like, yeah, like, I think this album still is pretty good. I liked it. I like Issues.
Yeah, my Issues story is, again, the radio thing where they played the whole album. I recorded that on cassette,
Yeah,
and
I did too.
I don't remember that much from doing that. Obviously, Falling Away from Me was on South Park.
Yeah.
I remember Beg for Me kind of stood out. And so then I got a physical copy of the album. And they did the thing that comic books did in the early 90s where they had variant covers.
Yeah, I had a friend that bought them all.
Oh my God.
He was insane. Like, he was working, like, he was one of the few that had a job at the time, like, in high school. Like, he was, like, in his senior year. So, like, he could just, like, go get a job. Like, he would go to school until, like, noon and then go work at McDonald's for, like, 3 hours or something. But he had enough money to, like, grab every variant the day it came out. I was like, you're an idiot. I mean, it's a good album, but you're a fucking idiot. You don't need all this. But yeah, like, Make Me Bad, Wake Up, Hey Daddy, Let's Get This Party Started, Dirty. Like, there's not a lot on this album that I can look at and say I don't really like much. And I can say, like, yeah, maybe if you think that the interludes are kind of poopy. But, yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt your Issues experience, by the way. Go ahead. Please continue.
So I don't like the interludes.
Aww.
I like For You. Mm-hmm. Because I'm like, oh, this one's doing something interesting,
Yeah.
and then it ends.
Like, I felt that For You should have been a full song.
A real song.
Yeah. Like, For You is the one. Like, if I could have had any of those. Like, if you could just, like, remove all of the interludes and make For You a full song, I think that would work, because I think there was a really good idea of things going on there, and it was a really good melody, sounded really good. Jonathan Davis actually singing his ass off.
Yeah, this album kind of falls flat for me. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some recognizable songs. Mm-hmm. Most of the ones you already named. Wake Up, Make Me Bad. Make Me Bad is unassailable.
Yeah, it's
okay. I like Make Me Bad.
Yeah.
Falling Away from Me, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody, Someone, that one holds up.
Mm-hmm.
The production on Beg for Me just sounds kind of dog shitty to me. I don't know what happened on that song.
I think it's too dense. I think there's too much occupying the mid range. And it just kind of ends up sounding like mashed potatoes being shoved in your ears.
Well, if it's going to be that kind of party, I'm going to stick my dick in the mashed potatoes.
All right, we're going to rank Beastie Boys albums next. Let's go.
Yes. All 6 of them.
All 6 of them.
Oh, how many do they have? I don't know.
I think they had like 8.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, like, I don't like the interstitials on here.
Yeah.
Wake Up kind of doesn't do anything for me either. It's like, oh, the band is fighting. I mean, when Jonathan Davis is like, which I didn't know until I read his Wikipedia article, he was way fucked up on drugs.
Yeah.
For like a number of years.
Long time. This is the album where he was starting to get sober.
The end of my issue story is I tried to trade it in twice to a local record store that would give you cash for trade-ins, and they would not take it because they were that overloaded with copies of Issues.
Oof.
So I think this album was a bit overhyped and maybe didn't quite live up to it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It also so closely followed their previous album that I think maybe people thought it was going to be a return to form, but by then Korn's wave had crested.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like this for me, like is like the last good Korn record. Honestly, like this is for me. Like this is where the Korn ride ended. I didn't really give a shit about anything they did after this album.
I kind of want to rank it lower than Untouchables, but it might have a higher quantity of better songs, but again, the interstitials kill it for me. The production sounds kind of shitty in some songs. There's a fade out.
Oh yeah. That's how you get me on board with anything you're gonna say next.
Kind of.
All right,
I mean, if you think it's got some jams, then I think that's fair. I just think, like, overall as an album,
I agree.
A lot of crap.
I think that, like, a lot of my I may be being a little precious with this album because it comes from a pretty, like, special time in my life when I was a teenager.
You know, that's part of the experience. Like, a lot of this stuff I listen to, it's like, yeah, I could have seen myself getting into this, but as I'm, trying to cram it in, in order to familiarize myself this was like a 2-month long project.
Yeah, we kind of
for this.
Like we really did put in the time to like re-listen to a lot of this shit. So
the emotions you feel about an album, tied to the time that it came out, are a big part of the experience, and not everybody's going to have that same experience.
Yeah. Issues for
there
me.
is no like completely objectively judging this shit. Not just on taste, but on things like vicariously. Like how did it make you feel? At the time.
Yeah, I'm okay putting Korn's like that. I'm okay putting issues there. It's fine. Like I understand that. Like I can look at that album and I understand where it's weak. Like I understand, even though those songs still sound really good to my ears, but I can obviously still. I understand the arguments of a lot of people have with it. I get it. I'm fine with it. We can go. All right.
But we worked out our issues.
We worked out our issues on stream. Look at us go. All right. Ready for number 14? Well, look who's back.
You wanted the worst. You got the worst.
I'll tell you, this is another album that I got on release day. I went to a friend's house. We listened to it, and I drove home. When I got home, I put the CD and the CD case under my back tire and drove backwards over it. That is not a lie. Yeah, that's where I'm at with Significant Other. I think Rearranged is a good song.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I did not have this one. I don't know if it bears mentioning. I lost a wallet full of CDs when I was in high school, so like most of these albums that I did have, I have no idea what the fuck happened to them.
Yeah, you just can't run over a streaming playlist. Yeah.
But no, I did not have Significant Other. Oh my god. I don't think Nookie is as bad as people give it credit for. But don't play me the video version with the crowd shouting. Like that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Break Stuff is kind of funny just as a joke.
You know what's funny? Like my funniest memory of Break Stuff is I went to see Quiet Riot in 2001, and Stephen Pearcy of Rat was opening for them, and he played Break Stuff. That's my fucking Break Stuff story.
That's weirder than Local H playing Britney Spears' Toxic.
I think if anybody's gonna knock that out of the park, it's Local H.
Oh yeah. This has a Method Man feature.
Yeah, everybody in together
now. Yeah.
The thing about Fred Durst that I will give him, and everybody that has worked with him has said this: that man legitimately loves and understands hip hop. Like he knows the history, he knows the culture, and again, when he wants to, he can actually rap his ass off, like we heard in $3 Bill. But I think that this album is just like the like where he just got really fucking lazy. It's just like, oh cool, I can write about being famous and everybody hating me, and that's literally all this fucking album is.
Oh yeah, Broke is on this one too.
Like Rearranged is literally the only song I think on this album that is salvageable.
Yeah, everything else on this is just kind of dog shit to me.
How'd you get I love the fact also that they had fucking. God.
They had there's that feature that's got fucking everybody under the sun. John Davis.
Yeah. Les Claypool is on this album, and he's
God.
just, and all they got him to do was just sit there and talk at the end. And he sounds so lost as to why he's even there. And it's just like, well, I got a paycheck.
Oh yeah, Matt Pinfield is on this one.
Matt
Yeah, that's
Pinfield talking about Limp Bizkit being like the most authentic fucking thing in rock music. Oh my god. Okay, I'm done. You okay?
Nick's worst album of all time.
All right, where's this
So
going?
he is repping Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, are we throwing this in the same? Are we throwing this
In the shitter.
in the Kid Rock dumpster?
Yeah, that's where it belongs.
Get out of here. Yeah, glad we could agree.
Rearranged can't save it.
No, I'll just pull that song up on a and throw it on a Spotify playlist. All right, moving up to number 13. Come to Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses from Slipknot. This is one of those albums where I'm sure the reviews at the time loved to throw that word mature around. No thoughts.
No thoughts, head empty.
No thoughts, head empty.
Only push my fingers into my eyes.
Yeah, like this has got fucking duality. Like, come on, duality is fucking unassailable. I think this album's pretty good. I like Subliminal Verses a lot. Like I'm not like, and it's not from a standpoint of like, oh, they made a mature album because there's like some slow songs on it. Or they're doing things a little different. I think that it just sounds like a natural evolution of the band. Like it's just like, oh, you're going down the road that I kind of saw you going from Iowa. There were hints of this album in Iowa, and even though this album was kind of created like during the midst of a lot of inner band turmoil, like it sounds like they were able to kind of take that and shape it into like the kind of chaos that you think that like a band like that is going to be able to work with. And like, yeah, like this album does have songs like, you know, Vermilion Part 2 and like, you know, shit like that. But it's also got crazy cool shit like The Blister Exists. And I think that like anybody who thinks that this is like a sellout album, I think is out of their mind. I think that this album has just as much like heaviness and brutality as anything that they've done before. I think that they're just like moving and like progressing as musicians as you just kind of do as a songwriter, I think.
Was Corey Taylor back with Stone Sour during this era?
At this point, there had already been Joey Jordison had done Murder Dolls, and Corey Taylor had done the first Stone Sour record. So I think a lot of people like think like, oh, like, well, that's what made them do like, you know, some kind of ballady things in Slipknot, where like everybody sees this as like the Stone Sourification of Slipknot, when that literally did not happen until last year. Like, I don't think that Slipknot officially became Stone Sour Jr. until the end so far.
Wasn't he with Stone Sour before Slipknot and he left that band?
Yeah, Stone Sour was his original band.
Because, like, you know, the ballady things are the more interesting things on this record to me. I don't see, if there were, you know, I will say I'm not the biggest Slipknot fan. I was aware of Duality when it was out. You know, that one actually got some radio play.
Yeah.
If there were accusations of selling out, I kind of don't see it because there's nothing super hooky on this to me.
Not really.
I mean, you know, the ballads are,
you know, like Circle.
They're not like that fucking Stone Sour song.
Oh, you're cutting out, you know, so I didn't hear it, but I got you. Yeah.
What?
You cut out a bit there.
Was that not Stone Sour?
No, you cut out there, so I didn't hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe I should not try to sing on this fucking mic.
It might just be that you have noise cancellation on in Discord.
That's probably it. Discord's chopping it out. Anyway,
okay.
Yeah.
Slipknot is so good live, my friend. Yeah, they're an experience.
I saw Slipknot in 1999 at Ozfest.
That's
on the second stage.
Yep. That's prime fucking Slipknot live show. Like, that's literally them beating the living shit out of each other on stage. Era of Slipknot. Yeah, I saw them during that era. I saw them for Iowa and once for this one, and I haven't seen them since. But yeah, like, they're really fucking good live. Just a fucking crazy spectacle.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about this. I'm not the biggest Slipknot fan. I think the ballady stuff is more interesting, but I've got no argument wherever you feel it needs to go.
I like this album a whole fucking lot. And like my instinct was be like, well, if you're just gonna give me free reign, this is a free like listen to it.
You can do it.
I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. Like it goes. Like I think this album fucks. I think it's really good.
It goes. Subliminal Verses. Yo.
Yeah, we're gonna do Death Grips next, everybody. So stick around.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Moving into number 12, we have Incubus. Make Yourself.
I saw Incubus live like right before this album came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think Pardon Me was out as a single at that time. And I thought it sounded like Christian rock.
That's what this album sounds like to me. This album, like, I don't know how they went from Science to making my original note for this one was like, how did they go from Crazy Fun and Cool Experimentation to dad rock?
Yeah, I was gonna say this album marked the start of Incubus going into the new metal version of yacht rock.
Yeah, that's kind of just what it sounds like to me. Like this album was a big old disappointment for me. Like, this one was just like, you get this one close to when it came out, and it was just like, oh man, like what? Like, all of the character that I loved about that first album, like the snappy production, the adventurous, like, the adventuring way they did with, like, funk rock and everything.
They fired their original DJ, and the guy they got here, like, he's okay. Whether you feel like turntables belong in rock music, I mean, that's the argument can be made.
Right.
But the DJ on Science sounded like he was a member of the band,
yeah.
And the turntables on Make Yourself just might as well just been a sample recorded. They're barely there.
Mm-hmm.
If he dug it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, we're kind of pooping on an album that you like, but yeah, this one did not spark any joy for me whatsoever, unfortunately. Like, even like Pardon Me, like, it's just no, Pardon Me, I just don't like it.
Title track is okay.
It's okay. What are we giving it?
Not very PogChamp.
Yeah, it's not very PogChamp. Man, there are people who go like, if people would look at this list, we would be literally raked over the coals. Like, some of these, like in the bad, like, I know that there are people out there that just love POD, and it's just like, oh god, yeah, like that Incubus album is the one I think that we would eat the most shit for. All right, moving on to number 11. We have Fallen from Evanescence. I think this.
So if Make Yourself was the dad rock version of nu metal, this is the Delilah version of nu metal.
This is way too high on this list, but I like this album.
Yeah, I'm being mean. This is all right. I don't know that this needs to be considered nu metal.
Nah, this is really not. I don't know how this kind of hit nu metal, honestly. Other than the fact that...
Other than the record label said they needed a rapper on Bring Me to Life.
Yeah, like, I think Bring Me to Life is literally the only reason that this album is considered new metal, but since it's here, we'll do our due diligence and we discuss it here a bit and obviously rank it. I like this album. Like, I think it's pretty damn solid. Like, if you want music like this, like, I think that, like, this is one of those, like, this album went in with a mission. They knew the kind of music and the songs that they wanted to write, and they just fucking stuck it.
Yeah, Going Under's good. You know, Bring Me to Life is okay. I don't. My Immortal is kind of ruined by association with a really bad Harry Potter fan fiction, but as a song, I think it's okay.
Yeah. Like, My Immortal is just overplayed as fuck. It's not a bad song at all. It's just overplayed as fuck.
I did karaoke at a bar, and there was a bartender at another bar who would get off her shift and come to that bar and sing My Immortal every fucking week.
Wow. Jesus fucking Christ.
I don't understand the appeal some people have of doing the same song over and over every time they do karaoke.
That's kind of a bummer. Yeah.
Tourniquet's a good song. Apparently a cover. I didn't know.
Yeah, I did not know that was a cover. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give this album an endorsement.
Yeah,
despite the memes, despite the hate for some overplayed tracks.
Yeah, do we put that in essential? I think it's essential. I think it's like, if it's going to be on this list and we're ranking these albums and listenability, this is an album that I do listen to. So I'm okay giving it a top spot if you are.
That's fair. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I might appreciate it more with repeated listens. We'll see.
Yeah. Like that is an album that definitely got a lot of play from me. So, like, I'm not going to sit here and act like that album, like, didn't stay in my fucking CD player for a good while.
Again, associations with a crappy Daredevil movie and a bad fan fiction kind of, make it a joke, but...
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe it doesn't deserve the hate that it gets.
All right, we're about to hit we're crossing the top 10. Are we ready?
Oh boy.
Here we go. Number 10. Go. Oh, wow.
I don't know if that came in on the mic, if the noise gate is cutting it off, but I tried.
I think we both did the same thing, and it came through. So we have Disturbed's The Sickness. How do you feel about The Sickness?
So it opens with Voices, which
great fucking song.
Yeah, I think is a good song. And then the rest of the album just doesn't live up to that.
I think it's a pretty good album, honestly. I don't think that
really?
I don't think it's essential. I don't think that, like, I'm not gonna be the one to make that argument. This was also an Angry White Boy Polka, pretty sure.
Oh yeah. The Sickness was an Angry White Boy Polka.
Yeah.
Or wait, hold on. Yeah, Down with the Sickness.
Yeah, Down with the Sickness.
It also got a Richard Cheese cover.
Oh yeah, it did, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think, like, the only song that I would, like, take off of this that's, like, is Dropping Plates. I think it's real bad.
Yeah, that song is. That track started and I was like, get this out of my earholes.
Disturbed in the house were dropping plates. Remember at the time, like, it would.
Okay.
Like, I saw them live during the time, and they would come out, like, he would do the whole Hannibal Lecter thing, and the prisoner outfit and, like, the mask and being wheeled out on stage. It was kind of a whole production that was pretty interesting, but. I do know that I had played this album a good ass number of times on a number of car rides back in the day, start to finish for the most part. It's not something that I revisit these days though. So, like I said, I'm not going to be the one fighting to say that it's like a banger, or like I wouldn't even fight you if you wanted to give it an because like I don't think that anything really does live up to Voices. But I still think that, like, as an album, it's still pretty consistent.
My problem with this album is it's like, what is Disturbed's sound?
like it's very like I have a hard time defining what they actually are, and I don't know.
Right.
I think that
and that's not a bad thing in
No.
of itself, but it sounds to me like they're trying to be everything.
that may be really what's happening with their sound being so indefinable, is that they're trying to do too much of everything.
You know, are they rapping? Are they industrial? Are they, you know, dark wave?
Right.
Like what is Disturbed? You know, you got a song like Stupefy with a lyric like all my hentai, almost said hentai.
Yeah.
All my hentai in the barrio rock,
Yeah.
which should never come out of a Jewish guy's lips. Okay,
No!
I'm sorry.
No.
All my people in the project block. Shut
Stop,
up,
David.
Shut the fuck
David,
up, David
please.
Draymond.
David, Mr. Draymond, please.
I did like the Bill McClintock matchup, the Stoop Arena with Stupefy and the Macarena. He says hentai in the YouTube poop version of Down with the Sickness. As you do.
As you do.
I don't like the Shout cover. Again, as somebody who thinks Shout by Tears for Fears is one of the greatest songs of all time.
This does not do that song any
when
justice.
that started up, I was like, I don't want to hear this. Stop. Just do not.
All right, so we're okay giving this an eh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Voices kind of redeems some of the poopier parts.
Yeah.
I feel like Voices is like a Phil Collins 80s era Genesis, which, you know, again, they would go on to cover Land of Confusion.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. All right. Moving on to number 9. We have Follow the Leader from Korn.
It's on!
It's like the only good song on the album. This
Nobody's
album,
Everywhere is okay.
this album is, oh my god.
This album is a product of believing your own hype.
Oh my god. Like, I get how Freak on a Leash brought this album this high on the list and brought this band to the mainstream, but this album as like an entire piece of work is just absolute butt water. Like the fucking like
it's even named after butt water, like chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water.
like it's got the fucking awful Ice Cube collaboration.
Oh my god!
And then the Far Side collaboration, Cameltosis.
Yeah, I don't know why that's on there. The Ice Cube one and the Fred Durst
We'll
collaboration.
get to that. We'll give that one its own paragraph, but I'll let you finish.
Okay.
I'll let you finish the Ice Cube thing.
No, I just like those songs start up and I'm like, are these ICP tracks?
Right? They're so like, this is like, I don't know what's happening here. Like, this as an album is just like, how did anybody think that this was okay to release? It's such a mishmash of garbage.
So this was the time that nu metal was really breaking through.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, you know, the hip hop comparisons were there. So, you know, Korn already did a cover of Wicked on Life is Peachy.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, well, you know, in the hip hop sphere, features are a big thing. I mean, fuck, you know, Wu-Tang Clan is like, you could argue that they're not a group so much as they're a bunch of guys who feature each other and then come together and do an album every now and then. So, you know, nu metal artists were crossing over with hip hop artists. Korn showed up on that Ice Cube Fuck Diane. I mean, you had Method Man on Significant Other. Was this before Significant Other? I don't remember. Anyway.
This was before Significant Other, yeah.
But God, it feels like this album is half features and they're all
Bad!
poopy.
Yeah, and then like, all right, the fucking elephant in the room, All in the Family with Fred Durst, which is home to some of the most embarrassing fucking homophobia and awful white guy rapping ever. ICP never made a track as embarrassing as fucking All in the Family. Even at their worst, ICP has never made a fucking track that embarrassing.
So I sat in my car and forced myself to listen to All in the Family the other day.
Oh, God.
And yeah, as a concept, it's kind of stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the homophobia is kind of inexcusable. It's It's funny listening to John Davis and Fred Durst saying they're going to suck each other off.
Right, like, what was the point here? Apparently, apparently this song came from everybody being drunk and high in the studio. And, like, yeah, I get it, but that's not something you put out. You just record it, and then people find it 20 years later as a curiosity, and you release it on a box set after everybody's dead.
It's such a weird thing because it's like a diss track, but it's a diss collab. You know, I struggle to call it a rap battle because rap battling is kind of like an improv spur of the moment thing, and it kind of actually takes some skill.
Yeah.
And plus you've got Jonathan Davis, which
he's not a rapper. He's not rapping.
Right. He's not even rapping. He's talk singing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Some parts of it are funny, but it's cringe to listen to. You know, the homophobia, which not that nu metal didn't have a problem with it before, and that Korn didn't explore those kind of lyrics before, and it was more of a spot where it's like, well, you know, I got called homophobic slurs when I was a kid, even though, you know, whether or not that was how you identified. I mean, fuck, a lot of people my age who came up in that.
Dude, my entire the first
era,
the first years of my website had that word featured prominently.
Yeah, because it was just, you know, it was kind of not seen as not acceptable, and then, you know, people like realized, oh, this is actually like really hurtful.
Yeah. Like, I get it. I understand that that song is a product of its time, and it probably was considered really funny then.
Would you say this is the original Paranoir?
Paranoir is pretty fucking grody. Like, Jesus Christ. Paranoir is just one of the worst songs I've ever heard in my life. But we did a Marilyn Manson podcast for that, so. But, yeah, like, this album is just, I don't know, like, how this happened and how this actually blew up and how this is... Like, I don't know how you, like, and I mean, I know, like, nobody that made this list actually listened to anything to evaluate these albums for quality. And the way that we are looking at them now, this is not the spirit with which this list was made. This list was literally just made to generate clicks. I get it. So you go with the most obvious picks. But, like, I'm telling you, like, this album is just fucking ass trash.
Yeah, I don't know why this is on here. Time has been kinder to Freak on a Leash. I remember not liking it at first. And nobody was talking about the song. They were talking about the fucking video.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So, into the Kid Rock pile.
I like Freak on a Leash. I like Dead Bodies Everywhere. It's On is okay.
Okay, I can get... Like,
Got the Life. I liked it a lot as a kid, and now I can't stand to listen to it.
Okay. So 3 out of 10 tracks.
But the fact that it's mostly features and then just like other lower tier forgettable songs kind of push it into the suck pile.
Do we give it this is just not very PogChamp.
Could some of the better tracks have been salvaged and just rolled into issues and then just like flush everything else down the toilet? Do you think that would have worked as an album?
Maybe. That's a maybe on that one, partner. Your call.
Yeah, toilet. Fuck it.
All right, in you go. That's where the little girl's playing hopscotch to, right into the fucking toilet.
I will not. Let's put it this way. I will not suggest anybody sit down and listen to this album, and I will definitely not, you know, be re-listening to it.
Yeah. All right. Number 8. System of a Down's self-titled record. Give you a big old handy. Holy shit, this album is a whirling dervish of energy. It is just... Fuck! I love this record! Yeah.
I had this one. I thought it was the greatest thing ever at the time.
Mm-hmm. I still think it's the greatest thing ever. I fucking love this record to pieces.
So re-listening to it, I'm like, how did I think some of these were the best thing ever? Because now I'm listening to them and I feel kind of embarrassed.
Really? I don't think that there's anything on this album to be embarrassed about.
mm, mm, it's not bad. Like I don't. It it gets better the further on in the album you get.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. It's a lot of, Serge Tankian has a very cartoon character-y voice. I mean, that's kind of a given.
I think that that's like one of the benefits of this album, though. I think that that's one of the reasons why it's so fascinating, because this album, like, he matches what the music is doing. The music of this album is fucking crazy.
Yeah, but it's just like a little too twee and corny, like with those first few tracks, like, Sweet Pea, No Sugar.
I like those tracks. Like, there's not a track on this album I dislike. I'll just spoil it for you already. Like,
oh man, wow.
like, I think the production on this album is fucking incredible. I love everything about how it sounds. Like, this is the System of a Down record for me.
Yeah, so again, why is this considered new metal?
It's not new metal. This is just fucking, again, this is avant-garde fucking metal.
It sounds more like Dead Kennedys to me. It's like hardcore punk with some Middle Eastern rhythms, Middle Eastern guitars, which influenced surf rock, which is what the Dead Kennedys was, drawing influence from.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on lyrically on half of these tracks. Like War, that's obvious what that's about. But what the fuck is Sugar about? What is D-Devil about?
I don't need to know. They're just really fun to sing along to, though.
Yeah, I saw them live pre-Toxicity. It was a fun live show.
They're pretty wild live. Okay, I'm probably not gonna get what I want on this one, and I'm willing to go ahead and let you bring it down. But
this is okay. This has got some jams. I'll give it a solid.
All right. This one hurts me. This one hurts me to put here, but I'm not gonna make an argument. You
kick my puppy, piss in my oatmeal. It's fine.
You've given me a couple to put up there. It's fine. I'm a whiny baby. Like, even though this is literally like this is like the Spine Shank album for me, and that it would be in my top 3 probably.
It just hasn't aged that well to me. Again, when I was like 15, I thought this was the dopest shit, but now I kind of skip ahead the tracks that I don't feel, or I hate to throw this word out, cringe, but some of it just feels cringe to me.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'd actually, like, if we were in the same room right now, I'd actually be stabbing you in the arm with the nearest object. All right. Moving on to number 7. Another self-titled debut. We have the first Slipknot album. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, so, like I said, I saw them at Ozfest in 1999, so that would have been contemporaneous to this album. Yeah, this is pretty solid. I wasn't expecting to like it as much re-listening to it as I did, but it's got some jams. Slipknot to me, and again, I'm not the hugest fan of Slipknot, but they always kind of sounded to me as just like really amelodic metal. With some melodic singing every now and then, and then turntable wikis, and just like really over layered over, too much drum sound. The joke is, it's like, why are there 9 members from Slipknot? Why is there a whole baseball team in Slipknot? I don't know that. Okay. Barring the extra conga drums, I don't know that the DJ and the keyboardist needed to be 2 different jobs.
Yeah, they probably didn't.
And wasn't Joey Jordison an accomplished enough drummer in his own right that he needed 2 other guys drowning him out?
I think that they wanted that tribal thing, though. I mean, you look at their logo and everything. It's like there's obviously, like, they're trying to invoke a lot of tribalism and stuff there. So. And I think that this album's like mixing and production really kind of pushed that forward. Like I think it does a good job of capturing that raucous energy. And I think that you look at this track list and you go like Sick, Eyeless, Wait and Bleed, Surfacing, Spit It Out. Like there is VHS video of me in a band at some point in 1999 doing vocals for both Eyeless and Spit It Out. So it's out there somewhere. Somebody fucking has it. It was recorded in 1999 during the summer. It was a live show at a pool hall. Somebody has that. Probably. Unless they've lost it to time. But the last I heard, the person that did that recording, they like to keep recordings around for posterity. So.
Well, if it was on VHS, it might have rotted by now.
Maybe, but again, like I think that they're the kind of person that would have probably digitized all their shit. But yeah, the band that I was in at the time did some covers, and they weren't the greatest, but I know that I felt really good screaming those songs out. Yeah, like I feel like a lot of these songs are just still like the fact that most of the songs on this album are still in Slipknot's live set kind of speaks for a lot of the material. The thing is, like, I have a version of the album that is different from a lot of people. Like the version I have has Purity on it, and Frail Limb Nursery as the intro to that.
Purity. And
the other version, which tends to be that version most people have, has Me Inside instead. Which, like, Purity was taken off for having too much similarity to some dumb story or something. But I think, like, Purity is just the much superior version.
I don't know if I had that version or not.
Yeah, that was the original, like, version. Like this is an album, like, when a friend showed it to me, like he got it shortly after it came out. And he brought it to my place and showed it to me, and I literally went out the same day and got the same damn album. And this is an album that influenced the way that I approach drumming as well. Just hearing Joey Jordison the first time, hearing Surfacing the first time, and just like, what is happening here? It's just kind of like changed the way that I look at drumming and how I think, how I thought that it should be approached. And it was just really inspirational. There's that. So where do we put
So when I saw them at Ozfest, they said they were recording footage for, like, a live video for Wait and Bleed.
Wait and Bleed, yeah.
I don't know if I'm in it. I haven't.
Yeah, like, that video is really fucking like, it's really hard to tell. Like, I think they very much...
Yeah, they probably used multiple performances to cut together.
Yeah. All right, so is this Essential or Jams?
I'm gonna, as not the biggest Slipknot fan, I'm still gonna say it's Essential, because if you're trying to get a sense of what that whole era of music was about, you can't really omit Slipknot.
Yeah.
And this is the one Slipknot album that I think deserves that kind of a spot.
Cool. Absolutely fair. Yeah, like that album was like a big part of my high school experience. I don't know that I had a friend that did not like or own that album. Like, it was just a constant. All right. Number 6, and then we take like another quick break just to kind of empty the old bladder, and then we wrap things up. All right. Number 6. Well, you knew these guys had to make an appearance at some point. It is the second album from Linkin Park, Meteora.
So how many singles came from this album? Because it seems like a lot.
I feel like both Hybrid Theory and Meteora, they almost got the entire albums out as singles. Like, they really fucking ran it. Like, these albums, both of those albums were meant to go. And go they did.
Because what is it? Somewhere I Belong, Faint, Numb, Breaking the Habit.
Like, Faint is my shit. I love Faint. That song is so fucking good.
Was Lying Through You a single?
Yeah. I think like there were only like one or two songs that weren't, and one of them was like the intro. Yeah, this is I really, really like this album. Like, having revisited it recently, it's like, man, I did not realize how much I really fucking like this record.
Taylor used to hate on them, but as an adult, I appreciate. Yeah, they're. Yeah, I was in university when this came out, and I remember a lot of people just saying like, "Oh, Linkin Park, they trick you into thinking it's gonna be a good song, and then they start rapping and screaming." And you know what? Like, okay, it was 2003. Like,
Yeah.
the rap metal thing was already become kind of became a joke.
Mm-hmm.
I get that Chester Bennington had this really constipated scream that a lot of people like to make fun of, but
I love him as a vocalist, and his scream, just like, it sounds like just scraping fucking shattered glass through out of in your fucking throat. Like, God, that breakdown in Faint is just so brutal, dude.
yeah, I dig this one.
Yeah, this is, like, I absolutely would give this top honors, honestly. Like, I think this album fucks so hard. Are you good with tops or jams?
Yeah, tops, yeah.
Yeah. Meteora, fucking tops, skyrocketing to the top. All right, we're gonna take like a quick break. You know, just get up, shake your wiener off a little bit, and then
shake your wiener, shake your wiener.
There you go. Give a little musical accompaniment for shaking your wiener.
Gibson.
We'll be right back, and then we will put this list to bed. So we'll be right back in a minute or two, folks. ready to do it, everybody. We're ready to wrap things up. We're ready to put a nice little bow on the top 5. I can't believe, 1, we've been at this for 3 hours, and 2, there are more than 2 people here watching this. This is honestly shocking because nobody ever comes out for music stuff. All right, Beepner. Are you ready for a number 5?
Number 5.
Number
5
is alive.
555 on a 666.
Oh,
Is that how it
damn.
goes?
That's, yeah, if you're 555, then I'm 666.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. Number 5.
The devil is 6, then God is 7.
Number...
Pixies isn't new metal.
No. Number 5, we have White Pony from the Deftones. This is literally... Like, this is another one of those, like, drove with my girlfriend to pick this up. Like, this was, like, literally just, yeah. I remember the entire day of picking this album up, driving to the store with my girlfriend, and then going back to her place and fucking to it. Here's my White Pony
this
story.
album fucks.
This album fucks. Oh, this is like literally Deftones coming into their own and just owning it, really. Like, they've never been a more picture-perfect version of what their sound was going to be, and this is, like, I think that this is just perfectly emblematic of the best Deftones is capable of.
I was kind of falling out of it by the time this came out. I, of course, knew Change in the House of Flies because that song was inescapable.
Mm-hmm.
So I mentioned previously that Mascara was the prototype version of this song.
Uh-huh. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I think Change in the House of Flies might be a better song.
Oh, sure. Yeah, Change is absolutely a better song than Mascara. Like, Mascara is usually considered one of Deftones' worst tracks, and Chino Moreno hates that because it's one of it's one of his favorites.
Wow. My baby.
It's his baby, and he hates that everybody hates it.
Yeah, as for the rest of the album, I mean, you know, it kind of opens with Chino rapping, which, again, he doesn't always do.
Oh, I think that's if you listen to the updated version. Like,
oh, you're right. There are 2 versions.
Yeah,
of
the
this.
original version did not have Back to School. That song was written because the record label told him to go write a hit. And he was just like, fuck you.
It's the Deftones version of Cherry Pie.
Yeah, and he was literally like, fine, fuck it, I'll go write a hit. So they took Pink Maggot, and they made Mini Maggot Back to School. So yeah, Back to School is not the first track on this album.
Okay, that's the red cover one then that I listened to.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna butcher this name, but it's Faciatara. That should be the first track that you're listening to. Yeah. That is like they put it at the fucking start, at the bonus track at the start of the album.
Yeah, usually those end up at the end.
And just like it just ruins it because I think this album is like a big cool art piece, right? Like this is a big artsy album, and then you put like your shitty fucking pop, like rap rock song at the start because that's what the fucking label wanted. It's like, oh yeah. Yeah, I get they put it at the start to get it out of the way, but yeah, like, yeah. Back to School is not the first track of this album. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so I wasn't really that familiar with this one. I like Knife Party.
No, Knife Party's incredible.
There's a Maynard feature on this one that I was
Passenger,
like,
yeah.
Is that Maynard? And then, I looked it up, and
Yeah.
he's got a pretty distinct voice. So.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to not distinguish a Maynard James Keenan vocal for sure. Man, it's
yeah, this is fine.
Yeah.
I don't have like strong associations with it. Like like I did with Around the Fur.
Mm-hmm. Like, I would say this is essential, but if you don't...
It's essential. If you think it's essential listening, I'm cool with that.
Like, I absolutely think that record, like, that is an album that I've turned so many people on to Deftones with, and it's just like, yeah, okay. Absolutely. All right, number 4. Iowa from Slipknot. I'll let you go.
This is the if you're 5'5", I'm 6'6".
Yeah, this is the one that's got this is the one that's got that. Yeah. So what? Yeah. Any thoughts?
I remember Left Behind being released as a single before this came out, and I remember not liking it that much. I listened to this. I don't have a whole lot to say about it, unfortunately.
That's a bummer. Yeah, I like this album, obviously. Like, this album is basically... This album basically is defined by 2001, and I was in the middle of, like, Phantasy Star Online version 2 mania on Dreamcast.
Wow.
Like, this album...
That's an association.
Yeah, like, this album was literally probably going in the background most of the time when I was grinding back to level 100, because I didn't have a code breaker to, like, transfer my data over from version 1 when I imported Japanese version 2, so I had to start from level 1. So a lot of long nights grinding and listening to and getting real familiar with Iowa, and I think that, like, this album is as brutal as that, like, I think that a mainstream album can get. Like, I don't know that I've really heard anything else as kind of like just out and out aggressive and violent and angry as this album was. This album, just, like, to me, it just comes across as a literal releasing of poisons. Like, you feel a catharsis from listening to this album that I think that's just, like, one of those things where it's like, I'm really sensitive to that kind of thing, like, when something comes from a very emotional place, that stuff kind of hits me different, and this is definitely one of those albums. And I guess you didn't have any real thoughts on it, so, like,
Okay, well, I'll just say this about Slipknot in general, is that Corey Taylor likes to write lyrics that he thinks sound cool, but are really just kind of stupid. Like, you can't kill me because I'm already inside you.
Oh, that's just...
You can't destroy that which you did not create.
I think that stuff's just...
You can't see California without Marlon Brando's eyes.
I think that shit's fun. I think it's good. You get out of here. I'm putting this in essential. Get out of here.
Okay, well, if you're going to do that...
Oh, shit, here we go. Go!
I'm going to use my S brake, and I'm going to push Dope up to the top
Are
here.
you fucking... Get out! Ah!
That's it. That's a stream, everybody.
Ah! Oh, I'll let you have it, you fucking asshole. You fucking asshole.
At least it wasn't Crazy Town.
Oh! Oh! God. I'm paying for that. Like, I literally feel like I just got hard countered in an RPG there. Like, that's really definitely like the boss that, like, you bring the right tools to fight the boss, but she's programmed to fight, to just mega dole on you to death anyway.
Koko desu ka?
Koko desu ka? Oh, I just got all out attacked. You, oh my God. Oh. Whoa! Whoa! Okay. Alright. I'm recovering there. Sorry, I was not expecting to get fucking... I was not expecting that in the fucking... Okay. Number 3. Welcome back, our good friends, Linkin Park, with the debut Hybrid Theory, which I think is the weaker album of the two, honestly.
Agree.
Yeah. Like, I think that, like, both of these albums are very similar, honestly.
This one's a little, this one's a little raw. I mean, and when people say raw, it's like, oh yeah, it fucks. It's raw. It's not polished like it's not mature. But this one doesn't really have the songwriting chops. I like Runaway.
Oh, yeah. Like, this album isn't bad. Not at all. I just think that the songwriting is way stronger on Meteora.
There's some nice, there's a track where the DJ just does turntablism.
Yeah.
Kind of like a DJ Qbert thing. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah, I know
I think he
Qbert.
collaborated with Primus at some point.
Yeah.
Crawling, as much hate as that song gets, it's not a bad song.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Hold on. Did I forget to do a thing here?
The Angry White Boy Polka?
I'm
pretty sure Slipknot's not in that. Nor
No,
are
Slipknot's not in there. I thought One Step Closer was in it, but I might be confusing that with the Richard Cheese cover again.
Ah, right. Yeah. Like, I still listen to both Meteora and Hybrid Theory. Like, they're both still good albums. I just think that Meteora is miles better songwriting-wise.
Might as well get this out of the way because I don't know when else it's going to come up. But Outside by Stained on the Angry White Boy Polka. That is not on the Stained album on this list, but there you go.
Wait, that is in the Angry White Boy Polka? Wow, I did not know that.
I feel like this came out kind of late because half the songs on the Angry White Boy Polka are not even nu metal. They're fucking garage rock.
Yeah. Huh.
Which, remember when that became a thing? The bands,
like with,
as they were
Yeah,
called.
the Killers, the
Hives,
Strokes.
the Vines, the Strokes.
God.
Oh wait, that's not. They're not a the band.
No.
The is not a the band.
The is no. All right, so we're gonna give this one. So do we put both Linkin Parks in the top, or do we give this one some jams?
If you only had to listen to one Linkin Park album in your life,
Meteora.
listen to Meteora.
Yeah. So jams.
Yeah.
Jams. All right.
By the way, have you ever heard the Sega Bass Fishing remix of One Step Closer?
No, I have not.
Yeah, go look that up. It's really funny.
I will look that up right after stream, actually. All right. Number 2. Toxicity from System of a Down.
I don't know why this is so high.
I don't either. For one, I think that it is miles and miles and miles worse than the debut. I think that it is way too clean. I think that it is way too mainstream. I think that it just lacks so much of the balls that first album has. I am that person that when this album came out, I said, I don't really like this that much. And everybody said I was fucking insane.
I just feel like it has a lot of filler.
Yep. Like this album.
It opens with Prison Song, that's really good,
Yep.
And then it's like everything else on it's just like, well, I
I'm
know
waiting
the
for Chop
radio
Suey.
singles.
I'm waiting for Chop Suey and Aerials.
Yeah, and Toxicity. The title track is pretty good. I'll give it that. Aerials is okay.
It's got
Chop
4
Suey,
good tracks out of 12.
Chop Suey on the Angry White Boy Polka. System of a Down also are Armenian American, technically not white boys.
Yes,
but
they are
I
Armenian.
I get that the spirit of the Angry White Boy Polka is that angry white boys listen to this music because Rage Against the Machine is on there too, which I think it's, we've not talked about Rage at all.
Prison
tonight,
Song is good. We like Prison Song. That's one of the good songs. It's just that like everything after that until Chop Suey and Toxicity and Aerials is bad.
So
I think
the other problem,
I think Steal This Album is so much more consistent than this, and that was just B-side, like throwaways from this album. I think they released the wrong one.
they let Darren sing a lot more on this album.
Yeah, it's the big problem. He is a chief songwriter.
And I think he's okay when he's relegated to backing vocals.
Yep. Yeah, that's the problem. And that's basically a big problem with where System of a Down is at right now, in that he is he's a chief songwriter, so he wants more time singing, and he wants to be the only one doing, like, any kind of publicity for the band. So
He didn't get all the suck out of his system with Scars on Broadway.
No, he didn't. I don't know why. Like, oh God. Yeah, like I think, like, personally, I think this album is bad. I wouldn't put it in the dumpster, obviously, but I personally say that this album is not very PogChamp.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I would say it's kind of but it's just kind of like, yeah, remove the singles and it's got Prison Song going for it, and that's about it.
Yeah. Look at this. Look, I think that this list makes so many people fucking mad. Just us having the audacity to put a System of a Down record at anything other than good. All right. And of course, it makes our number one, I think the most obvious number one, like, ever. Like, because this is every lazy list ever does this. Of course, it's the first Korn album. And it's just, yeah, it's the first Korn album. I think that it is a classic. I think that it does earn where it's at. I don't know that I would say anything terrible about the album. I just don't know that it's like the top of the pops when it comes to a genre for me. Like, I think that, like, I understand its place in being an important album in helping, like, make this type of music more mainstream, but I think as an album experience, just, like, I think some of these songs are probably not, they don't really hold up. Like, I don't think that it has the strength of an album.
Millie, no, Life is Peachy is not on this list.
No, it's not. And that is the album that I would have taken at least over Follow the Leader.
Yeah, so this is... The production is, well, it's right. This was Ross Robinson, right?
Yeah, this is Ross Robinson. Yeah.
I mean, the production's kind of grody on this one. Like, and you know, I get what this is going for.
Yeah, like, it's very much going for that. Like, this album doesn't sound like it sounds the way it does by accident, or that, like, somebody didn't know what they were doing. They very clearly set out to make this album sound this way.
Okay, Poncho, Follow the Leader is not miles above this.
No, Follow the Leader is not fucking miles above this. Follow the Leader is fucking ass trash.
I mean, this still has some jams. Blind. You can't talk about Korn without talking about
talk about that.
Blind.
Like, are you ready?
It's Ryu jumping to kick a truck being driven by M. Bison in the American dub of the Street Fighter 2 movie to that song.
Yeah.
What else? Clown,
Divine, the F song.
There's that French word, Fage.
Fage.
Is that how it's pronounced?
Yes.
Shoots and Ladders is stupid.
I don't think Shoots and Ladders is, like, the best song that people seem to think it is.
Dark, fucked up nursery rhymes. Ooh, it's peer into my messed up, twisted mind.
Well, I mean, that's Korn's whole thing, really.
That's Korn, but it's like that's like a parody of that. That's what, like, normies think new metal is.
Yeah, like, that is literally like what you think parody Korn is. It's like, no, that's an actual Korn song. He just sings nursery rhymes. Like, how is this better than Mr. Rogers, which is just a way better song and a way better executed idea?
Oh man, so yeah, talking about that kind of song, Daddy is really rough to listen to.
Boy, yeah, when you get the songs that are about real, actual, that kind of childhood trauma, it's just, oh boy, and you know that, like, I think it's kind of hard to fake that kind of thing.
It's said that it's not about his father. It's about he was abused by an adult in his life, and he told his parents, and they didn't believe him.
Yeah. It's like they performed, like, I think that, like, they only actually performed Daddy for the first time, like, on, like, the 25th anniversary of this album or something, like, and even then it's just like, like that shit's rough. Like we said with the Machine Head record when on the song 5, like, props for bringing something like that to the table. That's not by any means an easy thing to do. But yeah.
So
like,
how would you define Korn's sound? Like either from this album or just in general?
I think they're just like groove metal in a way, really.
Because like, you know, we're calling this the arbitrary start of nu metal, and it's
Yeah.
arbitrarily like the greatest nu metal album of all time.
Yeah.
But it's not a genre that they like said, oh, we're going to go out and create nu metal. They don't, you know, they've said in
like,
interviews that they don't even like the term.
Yeah, they hate the term.
To me, it sounds like it's sludge metal.
Yeah.
You know, with really, you know, drop tune guitars, the, you know, slap bass, fret rattling, really, you know, slacking. I mean, it's there are songs that don't use that, but it's you know, you hear that sound and it's like, oh, that's Fieldy's.
That's Fieldy. Yeah.
And then just like a lot of really atonal guitar notes that, you know, just kind of like real weird screeches, which I know they've said that Cypress Hill was a big influence on that, like the guitar samples that they used on. I mean, go listen to Pigs, go listen to How I Could Just Kill a Man.
Yeah.
I think oddly enough, they're getting a lot of their sound, at least as far as this album is concerned, from Primus.
Yeah, it's very Primus-y.
As weird as that sounds.
Yeah, no, I hear it. I absolutely hear it.
Because Les Claypool would play a 6-string bass like it was a regular guitar, and then, you know, Larry Lalonde would just put those weird, you know, guitar heads on everything. So, and you know, just like, yeah, the hip hop elements are there, but just as much as like the grunge and the horror elements, whether it's like dealing with psychological trauma or just like, you know, out and out, like what you think of as horror punk, I'm gonna dismember a bunch of bodies, ha ha ha, you know, almost to a comical sense, but but a lot of it feels like it's coming from a place of lived experience.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It feels very authentic.
This album's still all right.
Yeah,
it's not the.
This is
fucking, you know, unassailable pinnacle. That...
I don't hold this album as the sacred cow that a lot of people seem to. I'm fine saying it's got jams.
Yeah.
All right, folks.
Wow, we actually had a more positive spread than I thought we would.
Yeah, this actually ended up really good. I think that, oh man, looking at that fucking dope there at the end, it's just like a fucking big turd. Just... But I can't take it off because I gotta give you points for that move. That was a brilliant move.
Would you prefer I had done Coal Chamber instead?
Probably, because I like Coal Chamber more than Dope. Like, I think the Coal Chamber record is way more fun, and like I think that like when you look at like those first couple, like with, you know, Static X and Power Man, it's like, yeah, I like fun music. So yeah, I think that like the Coal Chamber record is fun. Whereas I think the Dope record is actually just ass. But that's you. We'll let you have it. So this is our definitive tier list of where we feel that these albums rank with regards to how they appeared on Loudwire's top 50 nu metal albums, and this is our review of listenability. I would say take those first 2 rows if you're looking for something to get your ears wet to, and if you see something there you've not tried before, or, you know, you're looking for something a little cool to try out, I think that, yeah, like those first 2 rows are a pretty solid place to just get you a taste of what 1999 was like for us, I suppose. How you feeling about it, Beepner?
I feel like I feel like this is pretty, you know, again, this list has problems.
Oh, yeah, it's arbitrary as fuck.
Yeah.
But like the word, like, other than this, we would have to just make our own list, and I don't think that like that's quite as fun as taking this and just kind of like digesting it all piece by piece of whatever these opinions may be, and then offering our own.
So do we want to talk about things we
Yes.
felt should have been on here?
Absolutely, let's do so. I'll let you start.
Because Chad is champing at the bit of like, why isn't this there?
Yeah,
And I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, you know, what
Absolutely.
is and isn't considered new metal?
Right.
You know, we kind of talked about at the beginning what we think defines the genre, but there are a lot of bands that were new metal adjacent or influential on new metal that aren't considered new metal.
Yeah.
There are bands that did a new metal record that, you know, weren't originally that, Machine Head and Sepultura.
Yeah.
But like, you know, you don't see Rob Zombie on this list.
No.
You don't see Helmet, and
Nah.
you know, Helmet really influenced
Helmet, Rage Against the Machine.
Faith No More.
Faith
I
No
know
More.
Faith No More is like kind of well predates that, but it's like without the funk metal stylings of Faith No More, you kind of don't have new metal.
Yeah.
Mr. Bungle too.
Yep.
I mean, which
Absolutely.
You know, grew out of the same origins. I mean, you know, a lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers influence on Incubus,
yeah,
especially.
for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, to kind of narrow it down, I don't understand how. Well, I will say this list is very America centric.
Oh yeah.
I mean, System of a Down excluded, but they were living in America.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see Skindred on here.
Skindred,
I learned that band is actually from Wales.
Yeah. Skindred is pretty rad. I like them.
No Rammstein. I mean, you could make the argument
That they're more industrial, but still, I think they came out of this era and have a lot of similarities.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, again, they're not from the same scene, and they were doing a more arena rock thing,
Yeah.
a big theatrical thing
Yeah.
with like shock rock, you know, props and pyro and all that shit, and
Yeah.
you know, but I mean, you know, a lot of similarities between them and say Static X.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, Fear Factory
Fear
now.
Factory, absolutely. Like, I don't know if Obsolete counts as a new metal album, but I know fucking Digimortal does.
I was gonna say Obsolete, and I listened to it today, and those first two tracks, it's like, yes, I'm really seeing the new
Shock
metal.
and
A lot of the Shock and Edge Crusher.
Yeah, Edge Crusher, absolutely.
I can see a lot of the other album. It's like you could say, well, this is basically the same kind of music they were doing on Demanufacture, but
Yeah.
you know, that was definitely of the new metal era. And in the enhanced edition, they had a fucking Gary Newman cover on it.
They did a fucking Gary Newman cover. Like, get
With
outta
Gary
here.
Newman featured on
With
it.
Gary Newman! And it became the biggest fucking, the reason that album sold. That's gotta feel real bad.
I really think Rammstein should have at least gotten a nod.
Some kind of nod.
They were on the
was-
fucking Family Values
Yeah.
tour with Korn and Limp Bizkit,
Yeah.
for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, I would, if I had to pick one Rammstein album just to put there, I mean, Motor is like from around the time period. I don't know. I feel like Hers Alive maybe was a little too early.
Hers
and
Alive is too
not-
early. I think Sehnsucht is just right there.
It is, but I don't think Sehnsucht is that good of an album. It's got some bops on it, but
Yeah.
like overall, it's weaker than Motor.
Oh, Mutter is incredible. Yeah.
So I'll let you. Do you want me to just kind of like shotgun a few?
Yeah,
or,
shotgun a few. Let's shotgun a few.
Okay, we talked about Sepultura, and you know how I didn't think Roots was a very good album. I think Chaos AD should have been on here instead
Yeah.
of Roots.
Even though Chaos AD, I think, still counts more as a thrash record.
I've heard it described as groove metal, and that's one of those things where I'm like, what the fuck even is groove metal?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like people use it to describe Pantera and a few
all
other
the time.
bands.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of
Genres are
the
stupid.
same. Yeah, they are.
That's why I don't fucking bother with them like 90% of the time. The only genre that matters is that, like, in Winamp, Primus is a genre.
Yeah,
That's
Primus,
the only.
yes.
That's the only time. That's the only time genre matters.
Yeah, but I just think Chaos AD was doing a lot of the same things that were on Roots, but better.
Yeah.
I don't have any of these in order. I talked about Rammstein. Talking about non-American bands, Guano Apes.
Yeah, Guano
they
Apes.
sound new metal to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I had them written down.
Okay, how do you feel about Strapping Young Lad? And now, before you get out your pitchforks, go back to listen to Heavy is a Really Heavy Thing.
Yeah.
Like listen to like the more offbeat songs like Cod Metal King or Japan, which I think was a bonus track.
Yeah.
I mean, it was doing like the really like brutal extreme metal stuff, but they used a lot of samples too. And it was contemporaneous. That album came out in '95, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think you can make an argument. I think you can make an argument for sure.
What about Perfect Circle?
Nah, that's not new metal.
No.
That's alternative.
More alternative.
Yeah.
See, like, and like, I didn't expect anybody at the time to give a fuck about Eastern bands like So Taiji or Duran Gray.
Right.
I mean, you could make the argument about Duran Gray, but I think the Withering to Death album has a lot in common with new metal.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Even though they started off as a visual K band.
They were definitely a visual K band for sure. Yeah.
And again, I think Life is Peachy not being on here is
that's a crime. Like, come on.
Myopic.
Yeah, that's just really...
One might even say it was blind.
It was blind. Yeah. Life is Peachy was like the top of my list of like, why the fuck is this not here? I also mentioned like Right Band Wrong Album with Taproot with Welcome. Big fuck, and I think another obviously was Strictly Diesel from Spineshank, which is pretty good.
I think that's good, but like, I've probably
it maybe also ran
to go with over that one.
It maybe also ran with a little too Deftonesy.
It is very Deftonesy. Also, some of the singing on Strictly Diesel kind of reminds me of Billy Joel Armstrong.
Yeah, I can hear that. Absolutely. One that kind of shocked me, and I think maybe it's just because one of my favorites is Violence from Nothing Face. Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
Oh, fucking love that record. It's so good. I think that if Incubus's Make Yourself can be on this list, I think The Grayest of Blue Skies from Finger 11 can be.
Yeah.
I think that...
Finger 11, some of their earlier stuff is kind of along that same vein.
Yeah. And if we're going in that similar vein, I think Wonder What's Next from Chevelle kind of would work too.
Oh yeah, Chevelle. I thought about them and I forgot to put it on my list.
Yeah,
but,
I really like Wonder What's Next, and I think that it really fits in with a lot of the same sound that was happening at the time. One that I don't think many people have heard at all. It's one of those like I just picked it up on a whim back in the day just because I saw it and it was just like, oh, nobody's gonna buy this except me. Is a band called Lollipop Lust Kill. My So-Called Knife. Got a great song called Black All Over. It's just really good. It's silly. It's as silly as the name sounds. Like you know exactly what you're getting into with that record. I don't even know if it's on streaming or not. Like I've never run into another person that's ever heard of
Lollipop Lust Kill.
Yeah, I've literally never run into anybody else that knew who they are. So, like that's one of those like, are they just like? Is this just like some weird random thing that I found that like I'm the only person that bought their record? They have one sale on record. You've heard? Okay, Tony 2362 has heard of them.
Two record sales for Lollipop Lust Kill.
All right, I think
other than their moms.
There's two more modern albums I think that really modern albums and / artists that really kind of tap into the same thing, but I think that we're seeing a pretty big resurgence of this kind of music as of late. But like two of the better examples that I've seen are Supernova by Nova Twins.
Oh yeah,
Nova Twins are a goddamn.
Oh yeah, y'all talked about them on the like Bad Music Only.
Yeah, they were one of my top albums last year. Just one of the best records that I listened to, and Unstable from Tetrarch. Which is just like, oh yeah, like this album just really fell out of the ass of 1999, didn't it?
What's that band? What's that French band, North Star Rising, that sounds like Biohazard? Yeah. Which again, Biohazard not on this list. I mean, can you call them new metal? Probably not. They kind of predated it, but they're very new metal adjacent.
Oh, neat. Okay. Do you have any other like things that you feel could qualify, or things that you'd want to add?
The Fright Flight song from Jammer Lammy.
Oh, I love that you're not wrong about that. Oh, that's really good.
I
Oh my god, somebody else in chat, oh my god, Noza has heard of Lollipop Lustkill as well. Thanks to this stream, I've met 2 other people that know who Lollipop Lustkill is.
y'all should start a fan club.
We're gonna start the fan club, just us 3, alright? The 3 people that have my so-called knife.
Yeah, I don't know when else I'm gonna talk about this, but like I feel like Big Dumbface should have at least gotten a nod.
I think Big Dumbface is pretty good. They're fun. They're very silly. I mean, Wes Borland is an incredibly artistic and crazy fella. So yeah.
And Primus came out with the anti-pop around this era,
Yeah,
and
from the Brown album.
we all agree that Primus kind of defies labels, but this was after Tales from the Punch Bowl and the Brown album, which I guess a lot of people wrote off as too weird even by Primus standards. And then, this was kind of seen like a return to like the kind of hard stuff that you saw on like Sailing the Seas of Cheese.
Yeah.
And Fred Durst produced a track on it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's fucking wild.
And Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine produced like 3 tracks.
Yeah.
I want to say.
Yeah. What a time for music. What a time. What a time. All right. Well, folks, we did it. We did as we said we would do. We came here and we talked for 4 hours. How did this take 4 hours? I thought this would be 2 hours max.
We spent all this time talking about fucking Dope and Crazy Town.
Oh my god. Like we devoted entirely too much time to Dope and Crazy Town. I still keep looking up at that Dope pic and it's making me angry.
You're never going to speak to me again after the call hangs up.
That's it. Last collaboration ever. Enjoy collaborating with nobody ever again.
You're gonna end me. You're gonna end my career like Fred Durst ended Taproot.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, folks. We're gonna send you over to Dr. Doobie. What's the command again? There we go.
/raid.
/raid. We're gonna go raid Dr. Doobie. He's playing Final Fantasy 16. I've heard that's probably a video game. We're gonna get out of here. Thanks so much for coming out. I literally didn't expect anybody to come here for this, and the fact that we got 9 people for this. Does
the Final Fantasy 16 man say bullshit, play Limp Bizkit, and walk away?
There you go. All right, folks, thanks for stopping by. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.